If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They
don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the sauce with the show, and till then it's half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof of my life better more than no proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's like Florida. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as could be. You can watch us on YouTube with viewing for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
What up?
How are you, buddy? Did you have a great weekend?
Yeah, weekend was cool. Except for hockey and basketball.
Yeah, the sports wasn't great.
Then I got up in the morning to a clogged drain.
A clog draining in your bathroom,
Sink.
toilet?
In the kitchen.
Somebody not know that you don't have a Mima garbage disposal issue?
I'm not at liberty.
Nailed it.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Yeah. People really do think you can put whatever you want down the sink.
Yes. Man, what was it? I looked down in there, I thought I saw a rack of lamb, just the bones just sticking up. I'm like, hey, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, so how you feeling about the draft?
I feel okay. I mean, look, they got 2 starting fat guys like in the first 2 picks. So I thought that was a great start.
I think the purpose of this draft, if you go from top to bottom, was to get bigger and physical.
Oh.
Okay. I know what people are saying about the secondary, but there was a boatload of corners and safeties in the draft. A ton.
Yeah, and we talked about that going into it, like because everybody had looked and said, well, that was the obvious need because the whole Jalen Ramsey thing, which continues to get weird. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But that while that was the biggest, I could see the weaknesses there. I don't feel like you got a prayer if you don't have anybody to get push up the middle, and so I'm fine with it. I think you come out of it. You have a starting guard and a starting defensive tackle. That was absolutely necessary. They traded up to get. I'm gonna try and get this one. Savai'a.
Can we just call him Jonah?
People call him Big Jonah. Savai'a.
Stop.
Hey,
if it's Monday morning, don't make it difficult for yourself. Just call the man Big Jonah.
Big Jonah?
Yeah.
Big Jonah. Hey, if he was in Vegas, they call him Mr. S. Mr. S. But here's what I like about the picks. All of their big guys that they got are athletic. That gives you flexibility, right?
Yeah, he played a lot of different positions in college. Like
that
he was
also
in college.
And I told you,
right, left, guard. He did it all.
I told you that you're always going to have a couple of those guys, even if they start, because if somebody gets hurt, it enables you to be more flexible up front, right? And so you're always going to have a couple of those guys on the offensive line that can play multiple positions or have the ability to. Not saying they're going to be good at it. We've been through that.
They traded up to get him. They obviously thought a lot of him because they gave up a haul to get him. Then they went back and they got a 3rd round pick back. They traded back out. It was an interesting draft. It was kind of one of those. It was, but I will say when you sit there, because I was watching day 3, I was like, all right, Dolphins are on the clock.
Whoa, day 3. Of the draft?
Well, here's what it was. I was at the Heat game. I'm watching the Heat in front of me.
Oh, you might as well watch the draft.
That wasn't even before the clobbering happened.
The clobbering.
I think there was still time. And then as soon as the Dolphins are like, the Dolphins have traded out, I'm like, oh, come on. That's the only thing. It's just selfishly. I'm like, I don't, whatever. They thought that there was value there picking up a third rounder for next year. They just gave up one to get Big Jonah. Then all right. I'm good with it.
Right.
I'm good with it.
I like, if you think of the last few drafts, even though they may have drafted talent, you didn't see like a purpose, right? They were just drafting guys. You can see now there was some intent, right? It's almost like everybody became aware of what the shortcomings were the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a couple of things. They got extremely younger. Like the oldest dude is 22. You got a 20-year-old, you got a couple of 21-year-olds. They're young. So now you have a core of guys that can kind of bring in a new mantra, right? It sucks that Jalen Ramsey feels the way he does, and I kind of agree with him because I've always told you, you underestimate when I say 4th and 1 and what that means, right? But now they're trying to transition into a more physical team, a younger team.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. It's the first draft that I've seen where you kind of see a purpose, right? And so I want to see how it works out. I want to see if these guys pan out. But you're going to be more physical up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and if it's evident by who has been successful in the NFL, it starts there. Even with Kansas City, you go look at Kansas City's last 2 Super Bowls. Who were we talking about? That D line.
Yep, and that was first 3 picks being in the trenches.
Right. So
and don't forget that Des Bryant says we just drafted the next Dan Marino, so we're good. Quinn, he's like, I'd already take Quinn Ewers over Tua.
Let me say this, Des. I appreciate your concern for the Miami Dolphins, but Quinn Ewers' own school couldn't get him out of there quick enough.
Des Bryant, for those who don't know, he tweeted over the weekend, I like Quinn Ewers over Tua already. He's Dan Marino 2.0. And yes, I said it.
Well, no, first of all, he's tiny. Dan Marino was a moose. Okay. He don't have an arm like did anybody watch Texas in the playoffs? And you still want to say that? They could not, the whole state of Texas could not wait. You know the first thing my boy said to me, Metcalf?
What do you say?
Well, it's Archer's show now. I said, Quentin got another year. It's Archer's show now.
Not to me, does it?
Right. So think about that. Wait. I'll give you a perfect example. If Cam Ward had another year of eligibility and he was contemplating staying, how much money would the University of Miami throw at him?
10 mil.
Okay. So let's put it in perspective. The University of Texas said it's been nice, it's been real, but you got to go. Okay? That's at the college level. So
look, Des Bryant thinks he's Dan Marino. I don't know why you're poo-pooing it. Guys seen quarterbacks? It was funny though that there was a time because congratulations on Shedeur Sanders, Leroy. Congrats. You have the weirdest quarterback room in the league.
We got about 7 quarterbacks and look, I will say this. Ain't nobody upset with that quarterback room being full. Because God knows.
Were they not upset? Because I saw their draft room reaction, and I have never seen a group of men less enthused about taking a player than the Browns' war room after they announced that selection. It was basically like somebody had farted in their draft room. That's how they reacted.
Well,
It seemed very much like somebody up top was like, "Come on, baby,
let's
because we know that owner.
yeah.
He likes to have a little fun, baby."
Let's okay. First of all, let's understand what Shedeur Sanders is. I don't question his heart. I don't question his grit. I don't question any of that. Okay? Dude's a dog when it comes to that because playing behind that offensive line, he got his ass kicked a lot. Now, going to the next level, and I said this before the draft. So I don't want people sitting here thinking I just came to this conclusion. One of the reasons why I said I would take Cam over Shedeur is I've seen him make on-time throws. I've seen him be accurate with more passes. And I've seen him lead a team. Leading the team, I'm not saying Shedeur can't do that. But he seemed to just drop back and hold the ball till Travis Hunter got open a lot.
Yeah, but forget about that. What's up with your franchise taking somebody in the 3rd round and then they take him? Like, that's weird, dude. It's a weird move by them.
It is, but you understand. You're also talking about an organization that's been shell-shocked as far as the quarterback position. And if it's a matter of taking 3 of them in the late rounds and hoping one of them sticks, why not?
I don't know. Just seems like you have. I mean, I know that Deshaun's not playing, but you already brought in old man Flacco. You got baby hands Pickett. You didn't draft a Dylan Gabriel. It kind of felt like when the Dylan Gabriel pick happened. When the Dylan Gabriel pick happened, that was like everybody like, whoa, he got picked over Shedeur Sanders,
right? But here,
and then he ends up going to the same team. You have the weird draft room reaction. It was just very odd, Leroy.
It was. No, I'm not saying it's not odd, but I'm saying that franchise has been scarred and damaged and hurt by one position. So if they draft, I mean, wait, is it crazier? Is it crazier than the RG3 Kirk Cousins draft? No, because they were drafted late. You see what I'm saying?
It is because I mean there was never a point where RG3, who won a Heisman, was taken. Like, it would have been weird if they took Kirk Cousins and then they took RG3. Kirk Cousins was an afterthought. Like, he was.
Didn't you trade up? Didn't they trade up for RG3?
The Washington did.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you trade up to grab a franchise quarterback and then you grab another quarterback in the 4th round, that's weird.
Yeah, it's not as weird, but dude, it's not as weird as a guy was rumored. Like, if there were 2 teams that were most rumored to get it, or 3, it was New York, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh to take Shedeur Sanders, maybe Vegas.
Right.
And you passed on them that many times, and you took somebody who nobody had above you in mock drafts.
Nobody.
I mean, you want to talk about tiny.
And
Dylan Gabriel is tiny.
He is tiny.
And
I don't understand. Can I just say this? Isn't he Samoan, right? Isn't
he's from Hawaii. I don't know what I don't know what part of that.
How
I don't
can
like to
all of the country and every other position that comes out of Hawaii be big as hell, and all their quarterbacks are tiny?
I don't know.
Except for isn't Marcus Mariota's from Hawaii too? Isn't he?
Got to run.
Marcus Mariota is also Hawaiian. Yes.
Yeah.
They got to run.
Huh?
I mean, they got to run. I mean, those big Samoans can run in those short places. Yeah, that's why they're D tackles and O linemen. But if you're a quarterback,
right?
Not big.
I mean, but I'm just saying, just like the overall. So, it's.
But Dylan Gabriel makes Tua look like Big Ben. Like that's he's small.
Exactly. I'm not necessarily as flabbergasted as everybody else, because when you've lived through it and you've had the pains of who's going to play quarterback this week, right? Like, I don't see anything wrong with it. I will say this, though. Kevin Stefanski is a good quarterback coach. He's won games.
Yeah, everybody respects him. Everybody respects him.
And so from that standpoint, if there's any amount of talent in any one of these guys, he gonna be able to get it out of them. Now, I don't know how this is gonna play out, but here's the kicker: they got another first rounder next year if it doesn't. Right?
Yeah, well, now
somebody traded with them.
The thing with Shedeur now is like there's no risk. It's like who cares if he doesn't work out and he's a fifth rounder? Like,
but that's my point.
You could cut a fifth rounder next year. You could cut a fifth rounder out of training camp if you want.
That's my point. Like, who thought? Think about this. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that end up playing that were afterthoughts.
But I think the thing is like rare is the time a fifth round pick is going to be the highest profile guy you have on your team, and that's going to be the thing. Like, because people were asking me about this, right? We got to take a break. We'll move 50 minutes of heat because, I mean, it's a funeral later. We'll get more. you guys get 15 minutes of heat.
Hey, on the same day.
Tyler Herro had the saddest guarantee of all time. That's what we had after. He's like, we're not going out 4-0. I'm like, oh, thank you, Tyler. Thank you.
I mean,
it's not even like we used to make fun of Jaylen Brown when Jaylen Brown said after they went down 3-1, hey, don't let us get one. At least it delusional, but hey, it almost worked. It almost worked for him. Tyler's like, we ain't going out 4-0. I'm like, you sure? So we'll get to it, but I want to. The draft is obviously the story of the weekend. We'll get into to more of that because there's a lot to dive into. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hey, WQAM's Whiskey Stars and Cigars, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, is back Friday, May 9th at Tabacon at Plantation Walk. Talk sports unfiltered with the QAM sports staff. Enjoy a whiskey and cigar from Drew Estate. No registration is needed, so just stop by. Whiskey Stars and Cigars at Tabacon and Plantation Walk. It's free. Come on by, say hello. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, your 2024 dealer of the year. 22 acres of new and pre-owned Chevys, Cadillacs, and Buicks. Visit them online at edmoresawgrass.com. You must be 21 or over to attend. Check it on out. So if you guys are just tuning in this weekend, over the weekend, the Miami Dolphins in their draft. On Thursday night, they take Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan. Then in the second round, they take Jonah Savainaya from Arizona, offensive lineman. They take Jordan Phillips in the first round, defensive
Another
tackle.
Jordan Phillips.
New Jordan Phillips. Yep.
Is that crazy?
It is a little bit weird.
What school? If he went to Texas, it'd be scary.
Maryland.
Okay. They drafted two guys from Maryland.
They did draft two guys from Maryland. They also drafted Dante Trader, a safety. They drafted Jason Marshall Jr., cornerback from Florida. One everybody's really intrigued by is their 6th-round pick. They took Ollie Gordan II, a running back from Oklahoma State. Moose.
Yep.
Was the league-leading rusher in 2023. Took a little bit of a step back last year, but obviously an intriguing addition. Different type of running back than the Miami Dolphins have had with a lot of the speed small guys. This guy is a moose, so that'll be intriguing to see what they can do with him. Talked about Quinn Ewers. He was drafted in the 7th round by the Dolphins, quarterback from Texas, and Zeke Biggers, defensive tackle from Georgia Tech. He's like 6'6", 3 a lot.
That's it. Hey, what did I tell you I wanted the theme of this draft to be? Fat guys.
Big. But yeah, at some point there was a time where people were wondering, and even I think it was thrown out by a couple of like the draft analysts, would Shedeur Sanders end up in Miami? And then here was what Chris Greer had to say when asked if it was a conversation the Dolphins had at any point on that day 3 when he just continued to slide.
Was Shedeur Sanders considered at any point?
Yes, we had lots of discussions about him today. Yeah.
Well, all right. They had lots of discussions about,
and I would say he couldn't be farther from the type of quarterback this team needs. And I say it this way. Tua is unique in that he makes anticipatory throws in an area of the field that quarterbacks hate throwing the football. And that is the middle of the field. He's accurate. Okay. I don't know if Shedeur is that. And you want, when you bring a quarterback in to back up your quarterback, you want him to have some of the qualities to build on that if he has to play, your transition to that won't have to be too extreme. You won't have to have a whole new offense. And so it has nothing to do with whether, see, if Shedeur was as big as Ben Roethlisberger, then the style of quarterbacking he played would be fine. But he's not. He's tiny. So that makes it hard to play the style of football that he has played at this level. And I think that was a deterrent more.
He's bigger than Tua, though.
Yeah, taller.
I mean, all right. We're being, it's semantics. They're same size basically. Like Tua's not a big guy,
right?
Tua's not a big guy, not a guy who can see over his line. But this is the thing though, Leroy. Like what you're saying, I guess makes sense. But when you get to a point, if you have a quarterback who has durability issues, and you do have, let's say, I guess you don't want to say he's a first round talent, but a highly thought of quarterback, and he is dropping, and you have look, obviously they wanted to put somebody in the room because they drafted Quinn Ewers, so they did want to add some youth there. I think the thing with the Dolphins, though, that like can't be ignored with it is like, look, everything with Tua is a thing, just is. Like he is one of these quarterbacks that just like it's always polarizing, it's always a topic. I mean, to add Shedeur Sanders to that team, I mean, dude, people are going to be doing quarterback controversy every single week down here. People want Tua gone. And teams go away from that. Look, teams that don't even have that issue didn't want him because of that stuff. You don't think there's a Tebow element to this where people are like, we don't want that. We don't want that dynamic.
Yeah, but somebody still drafted Tebow in the first round.
I know.
I would say this. If the talent was there, nobody would care. Because guess what?
Yeah, for sure. If there was, but there's obviously questions of the talent. There are obviously questions about his attitude in the whole draft process. But I'm talking about bring a guy in with a high-profile name with whatever his credentials were in college, which were good.
Right.
Good player.
Yeah.
And then you add on top of it a quarterback with Tua, can't stay healthy. People already are like, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? Dude, I mean, you want to talk about it would have made our lives easier. That would have been like, I mean, everybody every week would have been like, is it Shedeur time? Is it Shedeur time?
Yeah, those people don't know football.
That's fine, Leroy. But well, I mean, like you're going to be dealing with that too. Like with Cleveland, it's going to be a thing. It's just less so because they don't have a quarterback. But even if Deshaun Watson was healthy and they made this decision, that would have been a thing of when they're going to pull the switch.
Yeah, but here's the whole problem I have with all this and everything you're saying. All the stuff that you're saying could be accurate. But the people that would have a problem and bring questions into the mix are the people that are showing they don't know enough about football. Like, yeah, it's a new name. It's a brand name. It's a guy who's going to garner a lot of attention. But at some point, you have to acknowledge his ability. Okay? I don't care what the name is.
Yeah, but that's the thing is when you're already in a situation. I'm talking about that first season when no one really knows his ability yet.
You
don't, Leroy. You don't. We don't know how good he's going to be in the league.
Okay, but you don't. You really don't. But the things that make you good in this league, what does he do? Go. There's 32 teams, and they're looking at Shedeur Sanders and saying, from the transition from college to the NFL, what skill set transfers over? I'll wait. Go. Give me one. Give me one.
If his last name was Manning, you think things would have been different?
Yeah, no.
No. Yeah, it would have.
Okay. All right. I'm just.
They would have said he had intangibles.
Because here's the thing.
The hit factor. There would have been things that
gamer.
The one thing I'll say about
it would have been totally different.
But here, the one thing I'll say about a Manning is ain't none of them small. All of them have the prototypical look.
Yeah, but I would say the small thing, like that's going further away by the wayside. Like there are
it is okay. I'll give you a perfect example. Guys
can't gain weight when they get into the NFL.
No, yes,
wasn't a big quarterback coming into the league.
Let me give you a perfect example. Dylan Gabriel is tiny.
Mm-hmm.
When they drafted him, what did they talk about? His ability to elude and make plays down the field. We may have questions about him making on-time throws. We may have questions about his size, but when they show tape, they show him running, they show him moving around, they show him making plays. Okay, that might not be a first or second rounder, but some people might find that skill set worthy of a third round pick. All I'm asking you is this, regardless of what the name is, tell me, give me one set of skills that he possessed that you could say that'll work in the NFL.
I would say like he has a lot of the timing stuff that Tua does have. Like he
No,
does.
he doesn't.
Dude, come on. Like this guy.
He
This guy,
doesn't, dude. He's
Leroy,
not. Dude, listen. This is real talk. Okay. He is high school compared to Tua's timing when it comes to throwing the
yes,
football.
Tua has a superpower of timing. That like you're not going to find that, and you're not going to find that below the second round, Leroy.
Right, but right. So
Listen,
my
I
point
think
is
it's fair to
that's why
compare.
these guys are
to
going
say-
later.
No. But to say somebody you're going to find somebody similar to Tua in the 5th round
It's not fair to
is
compare.
not
No,
reasonable. I'm talking about. But when you're talking about who
they
you're going
didn't
to
draft Quinn Ewers. Okay, they
I don't
drafted
think
Quinn
he's-
Ewers to try to develop him.
is he Quentin Ewers?
Is it Quentin?
No, it's
Quinn. All right, Quinn. I'm black. We don't have Quins. We have Quintons. Sorry. I'm just saying, Quinn. So they drafted him to try to develop him. He is a project
Okay, but best
in hopes
but best,
that he could get there.
okay, but best guess this year, who's going to get a chance to start first, Quinn Ewers or Shedeur Sanders? Because I'm going to say Shedeur Sanders.
Why?
Because like
No
what
chance.
other options do they have?
I'll put something on that.
You think that Shedeur Sanders is not going to start at all this year?
No.
Doubt it, dude. Like they've already
Really? Wait, but you still listen. You still have not answered my question.
because it's pretty clear, Leroy. I understand what you're saying, but the idea that Dylan Gabriel, who had the #1 team in the country around him, and Shedeur Sanders, who had a very good player in Travis Hunter, but probably one of the worst O lines in the country, where he's getting his ass kicked left and right.
We pointed that out.
He helped lead a team, and Luis Benito did say this. Like Colorado only won 1 game before Shedeur and Dion went there.
Yeah.
And they were in the midst of the college football playoffs this season.
There's nobody on
Okay.
God's green earth that thought that Dylan Gabriel was going to get picked before Shedeur Sanders.
No,
Me included.
This guy, you could say
Nobody.
I'm gonna say me included.
Okay,
the
but
swag might be something, but he's
the
a
id-
culture changer.
Dude, like the idea that Dylan Gabriel even went in the 3rd round is a little shocking. And they took him before Shedeur Sanders, and also kind of feels like they were strong armed to taking him because the owner likes to do that. He does. It's just like, look at that draft room and look how they reacted to him getting picked.
Right.
Not look like and look, I know there was stuff said around his whole draft persona, and I'm sure the Dolphins weren't very involved in it because they do have Tua.
I'm not even talking about that. I don't care. Listen, to be honest with you, the only thing that I am looking at when I'm looking at this situation, I don't care about the attitude. I don't care about any of that. Hell, Brian Leaf went 2nd. Don't tell me about attitude. Okay? Don't tell me about you overlooked all that attitude because dude was big as hell, had a cannon for an arm, and whatever. That's fine. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about the one. All I am talking about is the skill set that he has and how it transfers to the NFL. That is it.
You wouldn't say like he's got a lot of the stuff that Brock Purdy does. Like Brock Purdy's like gamer. Like what is the thing that stands out about Brock Purdy?
He's pretty accurate.
Shedeur Sanders threw at 70%, dude. Like it's not like
but that's all right.
Oh, no, don't say that because a lot of people thought too it was accurate because he throws short passes to Tyreek Hill and all those guys. So don't say that.
Okay.
Don't give me that.
It's not nothing.
You're telling me him and Tua are samesies.
Nobody's saying he's same. You said similar. You're looking for something
70%.
similar in the later rounds. And if you're the Dolphins and you're looking for somebody, like nobody's coming into this draft process and saying Quinn Ewers is a better quarterback prospect than Shedeur Sanders.
Nobody is.
Other than maybe Des Bryant. We'll take a break. We got to get into the Cats a little bit. We'll get back into the draft. But the Panthers, they dropped game 3. Controversy. We're getting heated. Kachuk, dirty hits. Ekblad's back. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy. Let's get to the road to repeat here. Brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
So the Panthers lose game 3 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They'll be back at it tonight for game 4. Thank you, NHL and NBA and Turner. Really, again, just top work by you guys. We can't thank you enough. ESPN, bang up job, guys. Thank you. How can we be so lucky as to get all of our teams playing at the same time? I guess it's only going to matter for one more night. The Panthers lost on Saturday. They got handled 5-1. They got out to a 1-0 lead, and then just you got Vasilevski'd. You know, he had one of them days.
Oh my goodness. It was crazy.
Had one of them days. Vasilevskiy was standing on his head against the Cats. Vlad, you were boots on the ground. Or boots on the ice? What'd you make of the Cats performance there?
It was weird. Like after Tkachuk scored the first goal, you're thinking, okay, boom, the energy's there. First goal at home, you're back at your home arena, so this is gonna be a Panther victory. And then they scored late in the first, and it just seemed like every bounce just went their way. Like the Lightning, everything was going, every deflection, it was going in. Anytime that the Panthers shot, he was just stopping every puck. Like every shot was being stopped. And the other thing I also realized, it was like the first time all the guys were like healthy and playing together. So
Ekblad came back.
Right. So I felt like there was a lot of overpassing. Like guys could have taken their regular shots, but they were trying to get everybody involved. Because even though they outshot the Lightning, they could have really outshot them. Like there was a lot of open shots.
There was a lot of times guys had open shots past the puck and then it get deflected.
Right. So
you get no shot.
That's why I was saying it was a lot of deflections that was going on, and just the puck was just going. It just felt like the puck was going.
I'm glad you said that, Vlad. I felt the same way. I'm like, shoot it! I kept yelling at the TV.
We had another hit controversy at the end where the Tkachuk hitting who was it, Gensel? He does the old wraparound bang, hits him. No disciplinary action for him. No hearing though. He's not going to be suspended. Their coach, though, was a bit of a smart ass. He's like, you only hit the player, where's the puck? So he's all in his feelings because he's taking jabs at Paul Maurice. So now Paul Maurice and Cooper have like a little bit of back and forth between each other.
That's good. Because here's the thing. A lot of people were asking, there was a lot of feistiness and a lot of stuff that was happening after the whistle. And Paul Maurice was like, nah, I thought game 2 was more physical than this. And I was like, really? But Paul Maurice's his attitude was like, yeah, we lost, but it wasn't really anything that they were doing. We had no energy. It was like we were which is
a little strange. You would think again, it was a 1:00 start, but you would think the building,
everybody being back, there would
be juiced up, everybody back, first game
fresh
in the building since winning the Stanley Cup, that would have everybody going. But yeah, look, hockey, when you get stonewalled by a great goaltending performance, that can do things to you. Barkov did not miss any action, so that was good that Barkey was back. We will now have tonight Hagel coming back off his suspension. So now we're going to see will he and Tkachuk get into it after all of their jabbering back and forth. And then they thinking that Tkachuk had a dirty hit at the end there. This could be the game that's like the powder keg of like it all blowing up with all the emotions.
Yeah.
This could be the game. Like this is the one where you got to look out.
Well, because you can't you really don't want to go back 2-2.
Nah, you don't. You certainly don't. You could put a pretty a strong. I mean, it's hockey, so you don't want to say it's over. And we saw last year like 3-0. It went all the way to squeaky cheeks. But 3-1, with the feel it has right now, yeah, it would feel like the Cats put a death grip on it if they get this one tonight.
But it's hockey. Like
it is hockey.
Hockey, you could win
hockey. So anything can happen, right?
You could be. I've seen series where no team went on their home ice, and it's like, what's the point of having home ice? Game 7, if you're not going to win it.
It is the sport that means the least, right? Is whether you have home field advantage.
No, it doesn't matter. As long as you have that goalie, if that goalie standing on his head, forget about it.
Yeah, it did feel though like with the Cats having it last year, that Game 7 was huge to have at home. Like it felt like it reset them in a lot of ways. Like if you would have gone to Edmonton Game 7 after dropping 3 straight, like that building would have been insane. Like I know that's the riff, but at times that last one, you definitely want to be in your barn. For right now, though, I do think that there's a little bit of the Cats feeling things out, getting everybody back, knowing that Barkey was healthy. There was a chance for a let up. You get the early goal. You're like, all right, come on, we got these guys. Once you kick their ass twice and then you start off 1-0, you probably like, oh, come on. We're toying with these guys at this point. It's embarrassing. So now I think you get a more.
I don't think they do that in hockey, man.
Oh, it definitely happens.
Especially this team that
it happens.
The team came back from 3-0.
Dude, yeah, but it's a different team. There's different guys on it. You're getting everybody back. It was Ekblad's first game in 2 months.
Right.
Like, I think they take care of it tonight like they should. They're going to be in a great spot.
In other words, we ain't worried.
I ain't worried. We'll take a break. Now with Tua is next. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get the headlines here. Brought to us by our friends over at Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory with Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. The Heat, they got game 4 against the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, looking to avoid the sweep after suffering their worst postseason loss in team history, 37-point loss.
Wasn't that close?
It wasn't that close. At one point, it was 40, but it was right there with the OKC Memphis game 1. It was a thorough in the paint.
You ever watch a game as a fan of a team, and you watching the team they play and go, not gonna miss today, huh? That's the way I felt.
Yeah, well, hard to miss when every shot was at the rim. They were like, yeah, bing, bing, bing. How many games you seen a team get blown out like that when you shoot 50% from 3 basically the whole game?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Nilly to the paint, Leroy. Jared Allen was like, oh, this is easy work. I mean, he's giving you, listen, love Kalel. Love him. Not
He's
blaming
giving
him.
him the business.
He's getting a lesson, which is okay. Jared Allen, not 3 postseasons ago, had the quote, the lights were brighter than we expected. Okay. And that was when he wasn't even a rookie. So look, learning experience, a tough learning experience.
Could have had it 6 months earlier.
You're going back to this dude. He's played for 3 straight months.
Stop,
you can't keep going to this.
And not
I know.
and the regular season and playoffs are totally
Hey,
different. It
by
looks
the
like
way,
deer in
by
headlights.
the way,
He does.
stop it. Okay.
Stop what?
I hate that the Heat are getting thumped. I'm searching, just like we all are, right? So no need in attacking me about my ridiculous comments.
But
Right.
we don't expect ridiculous comments from you, Leroy. We expect ridiculous comments
I've
from
been
him.
that's something I've been saying 6 months ago. So
Yeah,
I know when I listen.
No,
I know-
when you were saying it 6 months ago, it made sense because the kid was playing good, but not at the playoffs started.
Yeah, it's
a tough go.
You know what's crazy though? I think football is a little bit different in that I remember my first playoff game. I didn't necessarily feel, I felt the angst and excitement or whatever. But as soon as you get busted in the mouth, right? That's a game changer right there. I said, oh, you trying to hit people in the head with garbage cans, right?
Well, I think the thing with this Cleveland team is, look, they're just damn good. They got and they've beaten the Heat every friggin' which way. Like they outbenched them. Then you got spited. Even the best game you played, like what happened at the end, best player hit every shot. At the best the Heat played, they played great in game 2. Bad second quarter, but they came through. They showed guts. But at the end, you just couldn't stop Donovan Mitchell.
That's what good teams do, though.
And then this one, it was just 2 bigs, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, just killing Miami in the paint. Just everything. And then Strus, of course, with
he's getting his
Here we go.
back, boy.
Here we go.
I saw that handsome bastard walking out the building. I said, look at him.
That hair is unbelievable.
Hey,
Oh my God. I saw
me mugging, chirping at the crowd.
Dude, when he basically blocked Andrew Wiggins at the rim, which I don't know what happened to Andrew Wiggins. Oh my God. But he blocks Andrew Wiggins at the rim and then hits a 3, and he just starts hitting the chest and flailing his hair like a peacock. Just like, look at him. This handsome bastard. Killing us. Hate him so much.
Hey, isn't it crazy that you could shoot 50% from 3?
Wasn't
lose-
close ever.
Lose by 30 something.
Well, I think they were like 10% from 2s. I was like, this is crazy. No, they took everything away. Tyler, another underwhelming game from him. Bam, Bam. Turnover after turnover. Dude, he passed I'm like, hey, stop passing it to DJ Khaled, Bam.
You know what I hate? When they throw it to no one and go,
That's on me.
we know.
Or they
We
go.
know.
No. Oh, that was on you. The one that was 7 feet away from Andrew Wiggins. Didn't know.
Love the one when they hit their head. They put their 2 hands on the top of their head, like
yeah. And then to just make matters worse for him, he gets tangled up because we've been seeing some bad falls with the Jimmy fall and the jaw fall, and then Bam gets this fall. Like, oh no, this is gonna be, and you're just waiting, like, is he gonna get up? Okay, finally got up. And then I was like, well, what happened? Because it happened so fast. So I'm like watching the replay. I'm like, I still don't know whose fault that is, if that's Haywood's fault or Bam's fault. I think Bam's took himself out because it's like he jumped while Haywood was there. Haywood wasn't taking blame for it after the game. He goes, that's not on me. You jumped.
It's like, look,
It was right there with the Gators blocking themselves.
Here's what you realize. This was a play-in team. This is what play-in teams look like against the number 1 seed.
Bottom of playing.
And in one rare instance, you beat a 1 seed. But for the most part, if you look at both situations, this is what the play-in looks like.
Yeah, this is how it's supposed to go, usually.
I mean, it's crazy. Now, conversely, the West is the wild, wild West. Oh, my goodness.
Yep. Steph, without Jimmy, had a crazy game with, man, he shimmies a lot. He's got more dance moves than ever now. Old Steph.
yeah, it's as if he got like a Viagra. All of a sudden, he's just shimmying all over the place.
Woo!
But you know what's crazy? Like, if you watch Steph play, that dude runs around like he's 20. He's always moving.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't posting up nowhere. He's running. He's like, yeah. It's crazy. Your Knicks came through. That Jalen Brunson. Woo!
Captain Clutch.
That Jalen Brunson, you know what? It got to the point in the 4th quarter where he said, you know what, guys? I'm going to the rim. There is nothing you can do about it, nothing you can do about it, and nothing you can do about it. The only people that's going to get my way is my own team, but I'm going to the rim, and I don't care what y'all do. And he got more layups in the 4th quarter. I mean, he broke off everybody. They were like fighting. I got him this time. I got him. Nope.
And the bodega, baby. The bodega. Bodega hit some shots.
Is that Cat? Is that who the bodega is?
Yeah.
The big bodega.
No.
But he's still.
If you're a bodega, there's a lot of bodegas in New York. And if you go to the bodegas in New York, there's always a cat laying on some loaf of bread.
Ah.
So that's bodega.
So here's the thing though. Even with that, even with all that, Cat still plays the softest of all them guys, right?
Nah, I don't. No,
I mean, I would say hard.
It's
Brunson.
I'm gonna tell you this, Leroy.
He's skilled.
Is a talented player, and he was just born with a face that is punchable, and people don't like.
He's got bad reactions.
So yes, so the reaction.
Okay.
So even when you think he's playing physical, but because of his face and his expressions, you think it's soft. But
right,
he was actually.
So he's one of those people. No matter what he does, because he looks soft, we gonna just.
Right, even and then when he's playing strong,
I mean, like, you guys are doing what you should be doing. I mean, this is a baby Pistons team. It's a baby Pistons team.
Hey.
You're basically taking on a child.
Hey,
is the fire alarm going?
I don't know what's going on in here, bro.
Do we have to leave?
You see the light? Is your light flickering through?
Sure is. I just heard something too. I was like, I thought it was somebody out there. It was like, come on with their hands up. I thought that was like, and then I was like, it kind of sounds like a fire alarm. But now, what do we do here, Vlad? Like, nobody's here. Do we leave?
I don't know.
Look outside. If you see the fire trucks, then
I don't see a fire truck there, but maybe he's in the.
Boy,
Did anybody cook anything? There's nobody here.
There's nobody here. Like even the Citadel's closed.
Well, by the way, which makes it worse, Because if nobody's there and the fire alarm's going on.
Let me know what the robot voice is saying, Vlad. Mijo's telling something to Radio Libre. That was crazy.
This about no, wait. After this weekend, this is about how I thought Monday would go.
Yeah. Like, do we leave? What do we do? I don't want to not take a fire seriously if there's a fire, but
all right. My cousin's there, and Dan Day saying they're just testing the fire alarm.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We can power through. The show does not bother me.
Hey, Dan would know because he always here. He knows all the people.
Yeah. The message is actually being played through the speakers, but we can't really hear it.
I can't hear it.
Yeah. We have the headphones on, so that's why we can't.
Here's Tyler Herro. This was him after the game.
Hey, you already now we're gonna hear what Tyler have to say. You already to trashed him.
Well, I just want everybody else to hear what a ridiculous statement it was.
I told the guys in the locker room, we wanted to be here. We're the 10 seed. We had 2 games to win on the road. We could have let go of the rope then. We could have, lost one of those games. But we wanted this. We wanted to be in the playoffs. That's our reality right now. But like I told you guys, it's not time to let go of the rope. We're gonna play to the final buzzer, and whether that's next game, game 5, 6, 7, another series after this.
So get one.
We just got to keep playing. That's what we're paid to do, and that's who we are as an organization. We want to compete, and we're not going out 4-0.
Great.
Hey, wait, can I just say something? Hey, Vlad, you're familiar with this. 2 guys go back and forth, and the one guy actually talk himself into an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, hey man, don't mess with me. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Knocked out, right? This Tyler gradually worked himself up to that point to make that comment.
We ain't going out 4-0.
Right. Because up until then,
print that
he
shirt.
Was good. He was good. He was saying all the things that were accurate about their situation.
That looks sad.
That was sad. It was sad.
Like,
it was sad. What are you gonna do?
You can't do nothing. You want him to feel that way. You want him to feel that way. You want him to think that way.
The only thing that went well for Tyler Leroy was the fact that Garland didn't play. So like that didn't become a thing.
that made it worse to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the guy that was trashing you, talking bad about you, doesn't even show up. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna let my other guy. I'm gonna let my side. Like,
is that worse? I feel
my
like
little ones. I'm gonna let my little bro to come beat you up.
Jerome,
he got crushed. He got crushed by Charles Barkley.
Come on, like, listen, bro.
Who, Garland?
Yeah,
Garland got crushed. He's like, you can't talk all of that noise, and then you don't play the next game because of a toe.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It was just, it didn't look good.
No, Jerome. Everybody gave it to the Heat, but like, Jerome, man, he's annoying. I mean, he does the flex thing. I'm like, oh.
He's not a small dude either.
I guess
6'2", 6'3".
He's not big.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as just like when he's standing in front of Tyler, he looks bigger than Tyler.
Everybody looks bigger in front of Tyler.
Yeah. Remember that nonsense you was talking about Tyler getting swole?
He does. Then he loses weight. It's hard for him to keep up.
That's not. No,
it is. It's tough for him.
Dude, I look swole after I go do 35 push-ups. Then tomorrow I'm back to unless I keep doing it. Tyler Herro was showing you his body after every workout. Yeah, he pumped.
So Tobin.
Yep.
Now that tonight might be the final game of the season, are you planning for next week's general manager, president, or
am I planning for it?
Yes. Oh yeah, because every time you go, something goes down. That's what he's saying.
I feel like I'd be like,
you got notes. We need to have a talk with you.
Yeah,
because we want to make sure that you go to the Kaseya Center.
What do you want me? Yeah, but what do you want me to say?
Every time you go to one of these, something bad happens.
That's not true. That's not true.
No.
You're the type of individual that's gonna ask him, Pat, did you see last night's game between the Warriors and the Timberwolves in the second round with Jimmy going for 30? That's the type of question you would ask.
Someone's gonna ask him about Jimmy Butler, whether it's me or it's not me.
But you would ask him about like the game, right? Like it would be the game. Jimmy would score 30 or 35. I
think my number one question.
Here's the problem, though.
And you would ask him about.
I thought about this. My question to Pat. I thought about, and I'm sure I'm not like some genius question asker. I'm sure anybody who's going to have that press conference. But my number one question to Pat really would be, whether he addresses or not, is, hey, you guys have been Cancun now the last 2 years by the 1 seed. Very clearly not the standard for you guys. How far off do you feel with Tyler and Bam as your feature guys? Because that's the real question of it. Is like, you're sitting here, you're going to have to pay Tyler Herro an extension maybe in October. You've already maxed out Bam. What's the max out of those 2 top guys of your roster? That's what's got to be asked about the Heat.
That's a legit question.
Here's the other thing. That, are you the only person to not realize, I don't care what Jimmy does with the Warriors. He wasn't going to do that here. And so any question about Jimmy, knowing that, is crazy, because you weren't going to get that Jimmy here.
You weren't going to get him unpaid. You weren't going to get that Jimmy here.
Right. So you weren't going to get him once you decide not to extend him.
Yeah, he's got to, I mean, like, look, this is the thing with him not talking until now, whenever it's going to be. Yes, you have to, all the Jimmy stuff has to be asked about him too. What's he going to do? It didn't work out. He may no sell it. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he was, Riley.
Well, last time you asked him a question, he didn't no sell it. So what makes you think he's going to no sell it now? He sold a whole bill of goods, and now Jimmy's a Warrior.
No, that's not my, but this is why I take umbrage with people saying it's my fault.
Don't take umbrage.
This is why I take
umbrage.
You
need to take a sip it. Take a sip it.
What my question was last year was asked him about the comments, but also, did he feel like the Heat were close with or without Jimmy to Boston? And he gave Boston all this praise, and he worked himself up into a lather to then rip Jimmy. So it's his words, not mine.
Hey, so basically what you're saying is, back to that guy that talked himself into an ass whooping.
Right.
He talked himself into it like Tyler just did.
He did.
So my question to you is, why are you getting riled up?
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You asked him about what Jimmy said, and he said Jimmy should shut it.
He didn't even play. It was big news that weekend, and it had to be asked.
Big news. Did you make it big news?
No, man, I can't. It was Butler saying that we would win if I was in the series.
How is that big news? Wasn't Jimmy like at a tennis tournament?
He was at F1.
But
he also was talking. Remember, he did the interview with Chris Haynes when they got their ass kicked in Game 3, and he goes, "We're about to go up 2-1." So he did a lot of talking,
but it wasn't the biggest story.
It was news.
It
was off the weekend. It was not
Tobin.
What?
Come on, Tobin.
Stop trying to put icing on your poop cake.
No, stop. I did not poop.
Hey, man.
I didn't do anything.
Really? You know what? You went at Pat Riley. You went at Pat Riley like a tattletale.
He did.
Like a tattletale.
Your whole tone.
You guys said that he didn't know.
Jimmy said.
He said in the answer, he said, when I saw that, I thought, is Jimmy trolling or is Jimmy serious? So he already knew. It's not like I broke news to him.
And then
stop saying I ruined the franchise.
Hey,
he didn't ruin the franchise.
Then he did the thing. It just what Tyler just did. If you talk long enough, you're gonna talk yourself into something. And Tyler kept talking. We wanted this. We can't let go of the rope. I don't care if it's this game or game 4, game 5, game 6, game 7. We ain't going out 4. He just worked that way. Where'd that come from? He just kept going. That's what you did to Pat.
Pat, this week
if
he was healthy, that Boston would have gone home. I know it's tough to live in hypotheticals, but if he was able to play and Terry was able to play, did you feel like the gulf has gotten way too big with you in Boston, or if you had your guys, that it might have been more competitive.
Are you sick? Were you
No,
sick?
he's not sick. The truth. The truth. The truth. You know what I'm gonna start calling you?
Giving Boston praise. It just led down the shut up route.
Play-in Tobes. Ever since you start talking to Pat, they've been in the play-ins.
That's not true.
Please, I don't know.
Not true.
There's been turmoil around the organization.
What are you talking about?
At least when they were in the play-in before, they were like 10 games above 500.
You guys got mad at me with a
This year,
finals
they're
question
like,
I asked him.
5 games below 500.
This isn't fair. Now you're just adding on.
It's not fair. It wasn't fair when you use your old interview voice.
Yeah, that was
that
why I was
17-minute question.
Leroy, that's why I asked him if he was sick. It almost sounded like he was scared to ask the question.
Yes, he knew it though.
But
He's
he
like,
knew
you
it.
know, hey, Vlad,
You guys are
Let's play this
ridiculous.
again.
You guys are ridiculous.
Hold on,
We're gonna relive something that I'm
this is the
scared to-
start.
let me ask
This is
I'm
the start.
scared
If
to ask
we're in
something,
court,
but
we got to go
I'm
back
the
to
one
the
who,
beginning.
but I ruined the franchise.
Yeah.
This weekend, Jimmy Butler had said, if he was healthy, that Boston would have gone home. I know it's tough to live in hypotheticals, but if he was able to play and Terry was able to play, did you feel like the gulf has gotten way too big with you in Boston, or if you had your guys, that it might have been more competitive?
You see?
What do I see?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that question?
What's wrong with that question? You started off by saying
You asked.
it's probably a hypothetical.
It's tough to live in hypotheticals. However,
But full steam ahead.
However-
Hypothetically speaking, you
However-
said it's hard to live in hypotheticals, but hypothetically speaking,
And you know who you asking about hypotheticals
well, he's
to?
hold on.
Riley doesn't live on hypotheticals.
That's not true. That's not true. Because I also got him in trouble when
Oh,
I
you
asked
s-
him about
you
the
admitted that.
asterisk thing.
So he
Another
admitted
thing.
getting him in trouble.
there
Well, I
you go.
did get him in trouble because he had to put out a statement about the whole asterisk thing.
So there. So you see? So
But that was asking about
every
no, no,
time.
Hold on.
So-
hold on. Before you jump on me, can I explain myself?
Yes, you've been explaining yourself for 2 years
We
now.
gotta take a break. We gotta take a break. I'll explain what.
Oh
where
no,
I'm
it's not going away.
No, we gotta
You
take
can
a break.
take a break. You can go
We gotta
take
take
a
a
pee break. It ain't going away.
at.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. Oh, thank God the alarm stopped. Oh, nope, that's back.
You know, the alarm probably came on when you started lying about, you're not the reason
What
for.
did I lie about, Vlad?
You're not the reason for all this turmoil in the 24-25 season.
Well, am I responsible for turmoil if I just brought to light what was going to happen?
No. No. See, no.
He wasn't going to pay him anyway.
Wait, you can't go that route because you already denied any wrongdoing.
The only
now
way
you're saying
you could only say I did wrongdoing is if you think by that answer, Jimmy would have been on his best behavior even without getting paid. That what you're deducing is
that's what he said.
No, well,
that's what Jimmy said.
Okay, but you're deducing that he would have tried his best for the Miami Heat even without getting the extension. If only Pat Riley didn't tell him to shut up.
I mean,
you didn't want to pay him anyway. I was pro pay Jimmy the entire time.
He did say that.
He did say that. So what you're saying is Jimmy lied.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying you think that he would have actually tried to win and compete at basketball and wouldn't have one-legged threed it with the Heat as long as Pat Riley didn't say, keep your mouth shut.
Hey, we got the 56-point game where it all started and it ended with a one-legged three.
Timbo Slice says, when you think about it, Tobin got Jimmy an extension. Butler needs to cut the check. It's probably why he winked at me when he came onto the court that day. Wink. He said, hey, thanks for that $113 million.
Oh, he winked at you when you saw the Golden State game?
Yeah.
He saw you?
Yeah.
And he gave you a wink?
And he was like, teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
My main man, Brandon Tobin.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when I commented you at practice? That was good.
Main man.
Hey, so which brings us to our next question.
Mm-hmm.
Whose team are you on?
I'm Team Heat. You know that.
Oh, really?
You know that.
Because then why is the enemy winking at you for
I don't
setting?
know. Enemy's a strong word. Enemy's a strong word. I don't have. I wish Jimmy Butler no success, but I don't wish ill upon him.
Oh, I don't wish ill upon him either. But I'm just saying. Like, come on.
What?
He winked at you like good work.
He did. Actually, he did.
Yes.
It was very much like that.
Yes.
It was very much like that.
So, how can the man who benefited from all of your chicanery all of a sudden wink at you and you think you didn't play any role in this whatsoever when the guy who benefited from it sent you some big face coffee and winked at you?
He didn't send me big face coffee. Stop adding it and making it worse.
Why is there a happy face on your cup? he got a happy Jimmy sent him a happy face coffee cup. Come on.
Coffee named after you?
Perhaps.
Wow, you guys are in cahoots.
Yes, the whole time.
Oh my!
You guys actually don't know this. I actually am part of the Warriors front office. I'm a scout.
Yep. Hey,
I'm an anarchy scout.
Now that we put all of it together, and then we see the result with Jimmy winking, why does the man who benefited from it think you are the reason why this all was able to happen?
I don't think he thinks that. He could
really,
hey, wink
really,
that guy.
Really? No. He went. Thanks, buddy.
If I had these superpowers, trust me when I tell you, my question is going to be about Andrew Wiggins.
What are you doing?
Get him.
No. Now all of a sudden he tried to make it funny and say, "Oh, I see what I did. I'm gonna try to do it with somebody
I'm not making
else."
it funny. I'm serious.
Yeah, I really want to know how you're gonna answer this.
If I genuinely had this superpower you're talking about, get Andrew Wiggins the hell off the Miami Heat.
Wait, you are undefeated when it comes to Heat coverage. Every time you ask the question, something bad happened.
That's not true.
Because you asked them dirt questions. You asked them the punting. Let's get that. Yes.
I don't ask.
I already know.
Yes. You should be on the Pat McAfee show.
Here's the
you
question.
did the same thing.
You're gonna ask him about Pat. Is this time for us to go well hunting? You're gonna ask him that. You're gonna ask him.
I don't think I'm gonna ask.
You're gonna ask him if there's any orcas in the water.
No. And hey,
yeah,
and
come
let me
on,
tell you
Kevin
something.
Kevin
When
Durant
is it?
wants to be traded.
Next Monday. Hold on. Next Monday. Next Monday. Listen.
I don't know that it's gonna be next Monday. I don't know when it is.
It's gonna be within the next.
When you come back here to do the show the next week, or whenever it happens, you better not say like all of the coward question askers asked.
Mm-hmm.
The media had to be asked.
What?
Right?
Okay, hold on.
You know they like
yes.
No, so you had to run to him with what Jimmy said?
Hold on.
You wait. You thought that was necessary?
That question. Io Winderman's not asking that question.
That's fine.
Anthony Chang's
They
not
asked,
asking that question.
They asked hard-hitting questions already. They asked about the extension. What about the extension? The play more.
And you
the Tyler Herro.
At that time, Pat Riley wants to hear levity?
It wasn't levity. But it was important.
No, it wasn't.
The man just answered serious questions, and then now you want to
wait.
It wasn't levity.
Let me ask you.
It wasn't levity.
You want to ask
all right,
him
I got it,
Show
Vlad. Vlad, I got it. Let me ask. This is a serious question. You think that question could have been different or responded differently with what he said about Jimmy if you would have just said, based on your current roster, do you think, how close do you think you are to Boston?
But here's the
Hold on,
no.
Because it's the same question,
it's not
just
the same
without
question.
the firestorm.
It's
You
not
threw a
the
little
same question.
You
If
threw
the
a
best
firecracker at him.
If the best player thinks that if he was there, they would have won, I need to know, does the GM agree or not?
Right. No.
Can you beat the
no.
best team if you have your best
Here,
player?
Mike,
or would they have smoked him anyway?
No. See, here's where I got you. I don't have a problem with that. If you just said, hey, Pat, how close do you think you are to Boston with everybody being healthy? Instead, you went in at like, hey, Pat, Jimmy said if he was playing, what do you think?
Dude, if your best player says that, that's not important to know what the president's thoughts of that are?
No, not really.
What do you mean? Hold on. Let me
You don't need to know. You could have asked
Hold
what
on.
he thought.
Hold
You
on.
didn't ask him what Jimmy had to tell him what Jimmy said. You
I'm gonna
snitched.
Vlad,
Then you
if
asked
you-
the question.
If you lost Jalen Brunson, okay, let's say you guys have Celtics next?
We'll have Celtics.
Okay.
next. If
Knicks Celtics, Jalen Brunson gets hurt
Mm-hmm.
and he misses the game,
Mm-hmm.
but you guys lose.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to know, but he goes out and he goes, if I would have played different series, you wouldn't have wanted. Who's your GM? Leon Rose? He doesn't do press conferences. I know that.
Right.
So Tom Thibodeau would have been like, Tom, you think if you would have had Jalen, it would have been a different series or no?
I'm going to expect everybody in the Heat to think that if Jimmy Butler was playing and healthy, that they would have a chance to win. I would expect that.
Great.
But you, and because I know you, wanted to use that question, and maybe Riles, if Riles gave you the answer that you wanted, it would have been able for you to, every time you come on there,
it really was
Boston Celtics, you championship.
It's
doesn't
not
mean
true.
anything. Yes, it was.
No,
that it was all for this.
It really was.
It was gonna. It was. Yes, it was. It was like a superpower. It was like when in video games when you get a pellet to give you more life. Yes. It would have given you
like
more life.
Mushroom?
Yes, it would have given you more life to talk so much trash to the Boston Celtics fans.
I don't think it was an indictment.
Leroy, am I wrong?
If anything,
Leroy, am I wrong?
No.
Leroy, am I wrong?
It's not about the Celtics, though.
It would have been, it's the Celtics and the Knicks, your two most hated rivals.
But it would have been more on an indictment of Pat Riley's job.
Let me ask
really
you
what
a
the
question.
point of it is.
Let me ask you a question. Who's your biggest nemesis in sports?
Mine? Like one-on-one or team?
Just one-on-one guy. I don't care what team.
Person I hate the most in sports right now?
Yeah.
Gotta think about that one.
Because
a lot. A lot.
If any question that I present to you that involves his name, right, is going to be met with that kind of hatred shown. What I would say to you is this. One of his arch nemesis just won a championship.
Well, they didn't win the championship at the time.
Huh?
The championship had not been won by Boston.
It had not been won yet.
It was just they were in the second round when this press conference
Okay.
happened. Let's not add more things against me. That's not true.
But he admitted, which probably hurt him.
It probably did.
How good it was.
It should hurt him.
Okay. And then after mentioning his arch nemesis, he got back to what was said that put him in that situation. And now the anger kind of came out when he said, Jimmy needs to shut it.
Well, that's not my fault.
It is because you mentioned his
Control your
nemesis.
emotions.
You mentioned his nemesis. If I mention the guy you hate the most, there's nothing kind going to come out of your mouth next.
Dude, are you the godfather or the grandfather? The godfather keeps it cool.
Oh,
like,
my
don't
God.
be emotional.
You blaming Pat. You blaming Pat for
Yes,
you.
I am.
Wait a minute.
Oh my
Watch
God.
the Godfather. Every time they try to get out, they pull me back in. What type of controlled emotion you talking about? Get out of here with that nonsense.
Oh my goodness, Tobin. How many
Minus
different
one.
ways you gonna spin this?
I just want
You're
everybody to stop. I
wrong.
just want people to stop yelling at me.
You're
Every
wrong.
game.
You
Every
need
game.
to be accountable. Just first of all, why don't you just take accountability that you were
Hey,
wrong, and you're the
I
cause
wasn't
of,
wrong though.
You're the cause of this horrible 24-25 season that's about to end tonight. You're the cause of the 37-point blowout.
Vlad. Hey, Vlad. We need you to throw that little sidebar in there, Knicks fan, right? We need you to put that in there. You see what I'm saying? Like, listen, Vlad attacking you with needle nose pliers, right?
He loves it so much.
He just look.
He's
He
enjoying
can't
it way
say
too much.
he can't say no without a smile.
We'll take a break. Game balls and game bums are next. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for Leroy Hoard to hand out his game balls in game bumps. What do you got for us today, Leroy? Who do you want to hand out stuff in the locker room to?
See, like when I watched the game, I wanted to give it to the Heat, but it's unfair because you also have to acknowledge how good the Cavs are. And so I'm not going to go there. And so I'm gonna leave that whole situation alone. Right? I really am. My game ball is gonna go to F1 because every time I see it, I know what that area looks like. I know from going to that raggedy building that we used to do a show from,
was very
right
raggedy.
next to the Sex Emporium and Popeyes.
Pleasure
Emporium. Pleasure Emporium and Popeyes, right? I know what that area looked like. And when they show pictures of cars doing almost 200 miles an hour in an area where the streets I can't even drive my car on, I am amazed every year. Every year I am just shocked at the fact that that area and where that race is where we used to do a show from.
That's true. We did.
It like up along that creek.
It was on
up along that creek is the straightaway where people get off the highway to go to Dolphins games. They got a straightaway where they hit 180.
God, I can't tell you how.
I can't go 18 on that street when I'm going to the Dolphins games.
I can't tell you how much the one thing I don't miss. God, it was a great location. Even if it wasn't like it was a raggedy building, but like the stretch you then have to go the 3 miles longer to get here is 45 minutes.
Yep, absolutely.
But
and let's not keep in mind that once a month somebody got shot at the Chili's.
All right, but Tootsie's was down the street. There was the
They
McDonald's
moved that
right
too.
there.
They moved
Come
it.
on, man. What are we doing?
They moved it.
They did have a McDonald's and a Pollo.
And a Pollo.
And the boy,
The
KFC, if you
7-Eleven
like
was
that.
right there. If you needed money for the bank, you had it right there. The Walgreens was right there. Tony's, the pizza's
Let's
right
not forget
there.
Stadium. Let's not forget Stadium Diner.
Stadium Diner's
Oh,
not
let's
that far.
not forget the sub place right there on the corner.
I can't believe you have me caping for $4.41 right now. Believe it.
But I'm just saying, like, if you've been in that area to have a Formula One race, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right. So kudos to that. Because I'm not.
Isn't it fixed though? Doesn't the same guy win every time?
Yeah. I love it.
Is this Verstappen or
Max Verstappen, MVS.
Yeah.
But he's had a shaky start so far. Him and Lewis.
what's his name is changing teams, right? After this year, or did he already change?
Lewis changed teams this year.
Okay, he changed teams. All right. So
all right. What's your game bum?
My game bum.
The Lakers.
The Lakers.
Bum.
Whatever happened to genius JJ Redick?
You got two of the greatest players I've ever seen. And y'all can't beat this team because they just being more. First of all, let me just say this. You losing games to Rudy Gobert, who's basically taking space on the court.
God, Anthony Edwards is so good, though.
Oh, he's
so good.
Oh, my goodness. You know what?
Reed to miss a shot in the fourth quarter.
Right. You know what's amazing about Anthony Edwards? It seems like he could do whatever he wants on the basketball court. There's only been a handful of guys that you could say that about. Right? There's a handful of guys in the league you say, oh, he can do what he want to do on the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
And so but the Lakers, like, come on, dude. Like, what do you It's not that I'm a, fan or whatever. I just want to see good games. I would like to see it be a longer series than it's going to be. But y'all, like,
I'll go 6.
Huh?
I'll go 6.
You think it'll go 6?
Oh, the league is definitely going to have to force them to go 6.
They're going to try. They're going to try. We'll see if JJ Redick doesn't blow it.
Although I will say this. If y'all don't get out of the first round,
Who?
the
Lakers.
Lakers,
Yeah. What about it?
Nico gonna be peacocking.
He can't peacock. They didn't make the playoffs.
It don't matter
It does.
because he could wait. His whole thing was, I'm building for a championship.
Well, if they don't get out of the first round, Luca, make us
Right.
Look at you. Look
Right.
over here.
There you go. There you go.
We have nothing.
So that's my game, Bubs. And like,
We
yeah,
have nothing.
hey, wait a minute. JFig pitching in, which this might be a slight upset. We also had Popeyes.
That's true.
No, that 441 spot, man. Come on, man. You,
Hey,
listen.
you know when they first came out with that sandwich? We had
Oh,
someone on
that
the
place
block.
Oh my God, traffic. Jeez.
Yeah.
That is Game Balls and Game Bums. We'll get you caught up with your headlines. Dolphins finished their draft, and Mike McDaniel actually didn't want to answer a question. Back after this. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Get the headlines brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Doral Volkswagen, choose for over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Heat back at it tonight, game 4 of their first round series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who got the brooms busted out as they get off the team bus today. Heat will look to at least have them exchange it for top hats and monocles tonight. 7:30 is your tip-off. 6:15 is pre-heat. What was he doing early? I know the last game, Salon did. There's a lot of you listening. Text me, and I don't know if you guys start at 6 or 6:15 tonight.
6.
6, early one. All right, there you go. You got 90 minutes of Heat pregame coverage tonight, 6 o'clock. And then, of course, on the other side of the dial on 790, the Tick Cat. You got the Panthers, game 4 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The puck drops there at 7 o'clock. Your boots on the ice tonight, Vlad?
I am boots on the ice. We're both pulling double duty tonight.
All right, buddy. All right. Well, we'll be back at it tonight. And yes, we will be boots on the ground. We will see if the Heat season extends or if it comes to an end. If it does extend, there will be game 5 on Wednesday. Goes every other day. So if the Heat are able to go to 6, it'll be Friday. If they go to 7, it'll be Sunday. Or we can just go 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
I think it's 1, 2, 3 Cancun tonight.
It was a pretty bad one.
Hey, Vlad, stop smiling when you say that.
Huh?
Stop
I'm
smiling.
not smiling. I'm not even going to smile when I'm saying, because though, listen. Yeah, I did the show with Dan. And you know Dan over the weekend. And you know Dan is always sees the glass half full.
Very optimistic, man.
Very optimistic.
Love his energy, Dan.
And then I'm realistic. So I'm
more like, see, but Vlad, it's weird. Me being realistic about certain things, people deem that as being a hater.
Of course. And you gotta, and
Sometimes
you just gotta, and you just gotta wear it sometimes.
I don't hate on none of the teams down here, but it ain't my job to be fanboy. It's my job to let you know what I think.
Sometimes though, you could also be a little bit more fanboy and have some fun, baby.
No, I can't, dude. Here,
sometimes you can throw the sunglasses.
Think about this though. It's hard for a person who's been in one of those locker rooms to think that way. It is what it is.
Open. The
hardest thing for a fan to admit is the other team was better.
It's not that hard.
Really?
Really not. I mean, I've given the Cavs their flowers the entire way.
No, but I'm just saying. Before the series, what did you say?
I said, let's have some fun, baby.
No, that's not what you said.
That is what I said. I didn't say Heat in 5.
No, wait a minute. You said, this is what you said. Don't let us win against Chicago. If we win against Atlanta, we're going to win on Sunday.
No,
and I'm coming
that's
back
not what I said. That's not what I said.
Leroy,
what
did
I
he not
said,
say
no,
if they
I can tell
win?
you. No,
wait. Let him say what he said.
Let me say what I said.
And I'll tell you if he's lying, because I know
what I said was
when he tries to twist.
Leroy, let me tell you something right now. We win in Chicago and then take that first game in on Sunday against the Cavs. I am going to be insufferable on Monday. They did.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
They did not. They did not. Wish they could have gotten the split. Hell, I wish you guys could win a home playoff game. 7 straight.
Hey.
3 straight postseasons. No wins in that building.
There's
White hot my ass.
Wait, there's a reason why your third game is your first home game in the playoffs. Because the other team is a higher seed. So
they really have made it hard on themselves.
I've been complaining about this for the last, and you know what you say to me? But they made it to the finals once.
Well, not Jimmy anymore.
But that's an anomaly. That ain't going to happen for another 30 years.
Wasn't it the greatest anomaly, Leroy?
Yeah, but you can't use it as a norm. You always explain it as a norm. It's not a norm.
They're supposed to do it.
It's a one-off.
They're supposed to be an anomaly, and they're supposed to get better, but then they did nothing. Although, I feel really bad for Damian Lillard. That's
who's got it worse?
Hey, can I ask you something?
The Bucks?
Oh, the Bucks
or the Heat?
Well, the Bucks, because they could lose a generational star. Like, that's why it's worse.
Right.
They won their championship, but if you're talking about right now, no picks, no nothing, and a generational star looking around being like, Well, about time for me to mosey on out of here, everybody.
Here's a question: who do you think is going to be the most prized trade item, Giannis or KD?
Oh, Giannis.
It's got to be Giannis, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be Giannis because he's younger and he kind of plays with that. I would say, to be fair to KD, both of them are all about basketball, which if you take that aspect of a great player, that makes them more desirable than a lot of other players who have a lot of other stuff going on, and you have to wonder whether they're into it.
Especially the two immature guys from the 2019 draft who might be on the block in Zion and Ja.
Oh, yeah, they got to be on the block.
Wait. You still want Ja?
Well, you know.
See, So I told you this.
Have I been scared
beforehand?
Of him off because
Vlad, I told him this beforehand.
Very tiny.
He didn't want to hear it.
But if we get Zion or Ja, am I going to be upset? I'm not going to be upset.
Well, you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yes, you will be.
Yeah, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for a new era.
You're ready for something new, but you're hoping that a guy is not going to be what he's been the first part of his career. That's what you're hoping for.
Right
you
now,
can't bring somebody in and pay him a lot of money on that.
Okay, but what do I have to hope on now? Andrew Wiggins?
No, what I'm saying is that, like, just look.
What do I have to hope on? Terry Rozier turns it around? What do I have? I have nothing.
Oh, I'm not saying you don't go out and try to acquire a big-time star. What I'm saying to you is those aren't the guys you want being the top of your organization simply because they haven't shown that, one, they can be consistent for your organization both on and off the court. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that.
Okay, so then there's other options.
Every option other than Kate and even KD with his age, every other option other than Giannis is going to come with a but. Like unless
like who?
Unless Joker asks out or somebody crazy. Like
yeah,
everybody
why,
else.
Can I ask you a question, Tobin?
Yeah.
Why you assume that if a guy's available, this is it?
I don't. That wasn't your question, though. Your question was, well, who do you want? And you said, and I told you, everybody comes with baggage, basically, except for Giannis. KD's got age. Ja likes going pew pew too much,
and he's always hurt.
And he's a high flyer, small guard. That's always scary. Zion, misses games, loves Astron, loves food. Don't know if he has the maturity for the city.
So here's what you do. You take the traits of a person that you can deal with and the things you absolutely can't have in your organization. And what I would say to you is the two things that the Heat would despise the most are what Ja and Zion have.
I can't
availability and knucklehead.
I can't disagree with that.
Then you can't.
But first and foremost, Pat Riley does believe in talent too. And I think if you believe in your culture, if you believe in your culture and you believe in your environment and you believe in your coaching, sometimes you got to take a risk on talent and hope that your harbinger of culture can turn somebody around.
Okay, maybe you could fix the off-field stuff, but you can't fix the injury stuff.
Better trainers? Something?
No, dude.
Well, something?
Nope. Stop. Like, you thinking if he's on our team, he's going to be healthier you can't make that assumption. You can't. I don't care how good a player they are.
Even if it's for the cheapskis?
It ain't going to be for the cheapskis.
It is going to be for the cheapskis. What are they going to
get? You think you're going to get Ja or Zion for cheap?
No, Ja, I don't think so because he means a lot to them. But the Pelicans got to be done with Zion at this point. I think the reports. I think even the
all of your assumptions fit perfectly for the Heat.
First of all, according to you, it doesn't because you don't want Zion, so it doesn't.
No.
Second of all, I believe all the reports are that the owner wants him out. Like number one thing the new GM, I think Joe Dumars has to do is get rid of Zion.
Wow, Joe Dumars is the GM of the Pelicans now.
Yeah, they fired Griffin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they fired Griffin. Sent his ass packing.
So you think that's his first point of business?
That's what the reports are. That's his first point of. What other orders of business does he have?
Right.
What do you think? It's C.J. McCollum.
Yeah.
You could always wait on C.J. McCollum.
Yeah, you can wait on that. So, but here's, oh man, like, do you want to go into another season with here? Let me ask you this: Zion's a star. I'm not going to take anything away from his ability to play basketball. Can you trust him?
Let me ask you this.
No,
answer
my question first.
Let me ask you a question.
Answer my question.
No, can you trust him? No.
Okay.
But
no buts. No buts.
No, just hear me out. Hear me out, baby.
You go ask me a question. Go ahead.
I give them the opportunity. I give them a first round pick. I give them 20 this year. Okay. So you guys get the 20th pick. You get Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson for a salary to fill this up. So you're getting a first round pick for Zion Williamson, and all the baggage is gone. You think they could do better than that? Was anybody going to offer a first round pick for Zion?
No, it's not. I'm
I'll
not here.
And I'll give him Hopkins.
They can make it work. I'm not saying they can't. But I'm saying, do you realize how pissed off you'll be if you go into next year and the same stuff that was happening to him in New Orleans starts happening here? You're going to be so upset.
I would come with the expectation. I'm like, I don't know if he can handle this city. Because it seems
why make the trade when you already have an idea how it's going to pan out?
It's like 60% from the floor, dude. He doesn't miss. He's just a monster in the paint.
Again,
you need that.
When he plays.
Yeah, I know.
How many did he play? 30 games this year?
What is he, 24?
25.
Already?
Zion? Yeah.
I thought he was younger than that.
Dude, you listen.
Up, dude.
I don't know what in your brain makes you overlook the most important aspects.
He turns 25 in July.
Do you want to know what in my brain makes me do that?
What?
15 games of Andrew Wiggins and a season and a half of Terry Rozier.
Hey, you didn't want 15 minutes of Andrew Wiggins, did you? So 15
I
games.
feel bad because maybe he's hurt. I don't know. But here's the thing is, like, I saw that he said some quote. I read it in Anthony Chang's tweet, and he's like, yeah, once you're on the court, you're 100%. It's like, yeah, but you look pretty good in those playing games, dude. Like, so are you hurt or are you just stinking up the joint? Because Max Strus gave you the business.
Juice.
I just don't. I just like all change ain't good change.
We need some change, but you'd agree we need some change.
I'm not questioning that. What I'm questioning is the depths that you are willing to go, knowing what the possible results could be for change. Like you know what Ja is, and you know what Zion is. You know what they are. You know what they've been, and you are willing to overlook that for change.
Yeah, maybe they've never been cultured.
Exactly, dude. Dade South says, you can't ask Wild Heat Coyote why he still buys Acme products.
Or he still looks down the tunnel for the lights.
Yep. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Panthers, they got game 4 tonight. Paul Maurice has made a lineup change. Sounds like he expects some shenanigans tonight. He's bringing in the old heavy hitters. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? Your accidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE. What?
One big happy family. All right. It's quite breezy out. I'm stalling because I'm looking for the direction, and it is clear there are no clouds in the sky, so it's hard for me to get a direction. Oh, there's a low one. Here we come. Here we come. What we got? What we got? Can't tell which way the wind's blowing, but it is blowing at 10 to 15 miles an hour. It looks like it may be coming out of the north because I see one little bitty baby cloud way up there. I think it's coming out of the north. It's about 80 to 85 degrees. And like I said, a beautiful, beautiful day. Yeah, the wind's coming out of the north.
How do you do, Vlad?
It's 83 degrees in Miami, so it could be 80, 83, 84, 85 degrees in
steamy weekend.
Right. The wind is blowing 11 miles per hour, but it's blowing east.
It's blowing out of the east?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, I had one little baby cloud in the far off regions. I was trying to line it up with my trees.
Wind is currently 11 miles per hour from the east. Mind you now, remember, we are in Miami, so it could be different for you in Davie.
I usually go with that. I go with that. We go with that.
All right.
But I told you when I was looking, I couldn't tell which way the wind was blowing. Like I don't have Doppler like they do on TV. I'm throwing up grass and looking at my trees. If a plane goes by, right? And no planes landing. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't see no planes, no nothing.
Let's get to Cat Talk here, brought to us by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online, hollywoodkia.com. Puck drops tonight, 7 o'clock, game 4 between the Panthers and Lightning. We have a lineup change, Leroy. Mackie Samoskevich seems like he's going to be scratched for today.
He's not playing at all?
Nope. Not activated for today.
Wow.
And instead, Paul Maurice is putting in AJ Greer.
Another Bash brother?
Which means fights. That's why he's there. That's like if you got one reason to bring AJ Greer in, you're going to take away Samuskevich's ability to score. It's because you're expecting shenanigans.
Oh, so he brought in some more muscle.
Exactly.
He brought in the thugs.
He brought in the thuggery. Yep. The Cats have resorted to thuggery.
Hey,
so,
listen.
I don't know how I feel about it.
As much as we like Sam, right? I'm going to say this. I ain't questioning Paul Maurice.
No, I mean, I get it, especially when you feel the temperature of the series is getting physical. These guys are disliking each other. There's probably going to be a big scrap tonight at some point with Hagel coming back. Him and Kachuk already is probably going to be a disaster. You're going to need some backup, and that's probably where you think there's the opportunity to do it. You lose the firepower of the scoring, but you add the muscle for the ass kicking.
I got to tell you though, man, they've had so many opportunities to score. I've never seen a puck bounce in front of the net more than it did the last game. And again, sometimes y'all got to be a little more selfish with the puck. All that passing and to get no shot, right?
It's tough.
Yeah.
You could feel if there's going to be a crescendo for all the shenanigans. We got the dirty hit on Barkov, the suspension, Kachuk questionable hit at the end there. So now it's tit for tat. You got the coaches jawing at each other because Palmer's like, we only hit players with the puck. And then Coop's like, I thought you only hit players with the puck. You know, he's real mature. You grow up, Cooper. I thought you were a coach. And now you want to get cute with it? All right, I see how it is. So Paul Maurice is like, great story. Here's AJ Greer. Fights.
So you got him, you got Marchand, you got Kachuk. Oh my god.
Apparently, Paul Maurice said that his wife was making fun of him. He goes, "You let the coach talk trash to you like that?"
Oh, nah, come on. Nah, Mrs. Maurice can't be doing that.
You already said?
Nah,
Using his line back on you. We only play with the puck. What are you going to do about it? He goes, I guess I'm going to play Greer.
This is very reminiscent of Rocky 3.
That's right.
Don't. Why are you egging him on, Vlad? You know, all you got to do is mention. It was
Very reminiscent of when Adrian told you-
Zion or Rocky. And that dude
Paul Maurice kisses the missus on the way out, and she goes, "Not gonna play that rookie, are you? All right, you need to go. Hey, I haven't seen one payback, real retribution for your captain.
You can't win."
All right. Oh man, so that's what you got tonight. 7:00 is your puck drop. Panthers will try and go up 3-1 right now after dropping Saturday afternoon's game, which, you know, that was weird. You got to have every game at the same time. Thank you, TV guys.
By the way, yeah, I felt so weird. Like I had my phone and I'm watching the game and I'm watching the game. It's like, dude, that's what everybody else was doing. Everybody had like their laptop or their phone and they're watching the game.
It was sports overload.
And then you had the NFL draft. You don't, because a lot of players were slipping or weren't drafted, and you're like wondering why. Besides Shedeur, so yeah, it was crazy.
If I could put an aside, because it's kind of gone unnoticed, because it was, we had NFL draft, we had playoffs.
Inter
Miami. I don't even know what they're doing, to be honest with you, Vlad. Did they win?
They had a 3-1 lead and then choked.
They choked a 3-1 lead?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Lost 4-3 at home.
Had no idea. But the Marlins lost 2 out of 3 to the Mariners. However, perhaps I was too harsh on this Peter Bendix, because this Agustin Ramirez that he brought up from the from the minors that they traded for Jazz Chisholm, this guy's incredible. I mean, this is the greatest 4-game stretch I've seen from a Marlins prospect, and I don't know how long. He hits 3 home runs over the weekend. All he does is mash, and I don't know what to do with my hands, because normally they're like, we got a highly touted prospect. I'm like, all right, cool. What's he going to do? Come up here and hit 150? This kid is killing it. I'm not used to this, Leroy.
You're not used to something working out?
No. I don't know what to do with my hands. Normally, the Marlins bring somebody up, and he's like, all right, well.
It's early, though.
He's going to hit
150. It's early.
This guy's incredible. First of all, he's the first Marlin ever to have 5 hits over 2 games. Then he goes into the weekend. He mashes 3 dingers on the road. He's killing it. We have somebody who can actually mash. The Marlins can hit. The pitching's been a little questionable, but we can hit, dude. Not used to this. Peter Bendix. Perhaps I was too harsh. Bruce Sherman can still kick rocks, though.
Why?
I don't like him.
Everybody was happy with Bruce Sherman when he bought the team from the last ownership group.
It's like, yeah, but it's like asking a turtle to jump over a quarter. Like,
What?
Exactly. Not a very high standard.
I mean,
What?
Hey, Vlad. When the last time you asked a turtle to jump over a quarter?
Yesterday.
Come on, bro.
What?
Come on, man. A turtle?
If you needed to get to a standard of liking somebody more than Jeffrey Loria, it's not a very high standard. Ergo, it's like asking a turtle to jump over a quarter. It's not very much.
Did you just come up with that right now?
I think so.
Sounded like it. Sounded like it. No, sounded like you just made it up.
-1.
I don't appreciate it. You guys are very
don't you need hops to jump over anything?
That's the point, Leroy. If it was a frog jumping over a quarter, it wouldn't make sense. Too easy.
Oh my goodness.
And this is the guy you're gonna send to ask Pat Riley another question.
I'm not saying anything. You guys have scared me.
Don't
you scare yourself.
If I say anything, everyone's gonna get mad at me.
Wait a minute, dude.
When is that?
When are you gonna have some self-awareness? When you gonna say, damn, every time I ask him a question, My questions get a whole bunch of people in trouble.
How many
Or get
times
them
have
mad
you
at
been
each
already?
other.
I don't want anybody in trouble.
You know you are the common denominator,
I'm
right?
very lovable. I'm not trying to make any trouble. I'm not here for any trouble. That's what I go in there. I walk in. I'm like, I'm not here for any trouble.
You sit in the back, don't you?
Just put it in your
I
little.
do sit in the back. They have microphones though. They can hear me.
I bet you everybody once that mic goes to the back and they see it's you, they're like, oh boy.
I may wear a disguise.
You might have to.
Who's that? That's Bernard Tobin.
Bernard.
There's no.
You're gonna
the
have to wear
only-
a fake mustache.
The only Bernard I know is Bernard. Only Bernard I know is Bernard Langer.
Bernard Hopkins?
Bernard King.
Bernard King. Okay.
You see how I caught him? He went straight for the first golfer. He didn't even go for the brother. Our fellow brother, you went to the golfer. Jeez.
Because I just saw him golf yesterday. That's why.
He's still golfing, Bernard?
Still
he still
golfing.
is.
Good for Bernie, man.
67 years old. He's the all-time winningest Champions Tour guy.
You want me to have like a voice changer?
What do you think about getting Zion Williamson?
so you gonna go in there like witness protection? He say the identity of this question has been shielded due to the fact that he has caused major problems in the organization. You know what? Somebody in Twitch put, you're gonna be the reason why the team moves to Seattle and they're gonna have a 30 for 30.
I don't like that.
The reporter that made the team move.
All right, we'll take a break. The mixed bag is coming on up, including one of the dumbest moves by a child I have ever seen when my dad is in a big position. That's next. Oh, welcome back, everybody. And hello, Jennifer. How was your birthday weekend?
Well, that was last week, but
Well,
it
did
was
you
well.
celebrate this weekend?
Well, no, this weekend I celebrated one of my really good friends and her bachelorette.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got after it.
I went after it.
Well, you kind of were off the grid. I apologize. I forgot. That's why you were gone. Did you was there shenanigans?
There was too much shenanigans, which is why I was off the grid.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, I was off my phone. I didn't have any screen time. It was
Where are
fun.
you? In Antarctica? You like the cold, I know.
I wish. No, I was in Punta Cana, which was really hot.
Nice.
Very hot.
The mixed bag. So it was draft weekend.
Yep.
Travis Hunter, of course, was drafted number 2 overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars after a trade with the Cleveland Browns. You hear this Jags GM?
He sounds 12.
Yeah, well, he looks 12.
Yeah.
He looks 12. There's that's for sure. This was him after
I
drafting.
mean, Travis Hunter looks older than the two of them.
He definitely does. He definitely does. Here was the Jags GM after drafting Travis Hunter.
Yeah, you know, as we sit here, Travis Hunter is a Jacksonville Jaguar, and really what comes to mind for me, right? Thinking about the sport of football and really the power of the game itself, right? Its capacity to ignite belief, right? Belief in ourselves, belief in others, right?
What is he
Belief
talking
in
about?
achieving what many may deem impossible. Travis Hunter,
Can you shut
he
Tim Robbins
embodies
up?
belief.
You don't want to hear more of this?
I don't need an inspirational speech.
Right? He's a rare person. He's a rare player, but he's also a reminder that the boundaries of the game of football were built to be challenged. And so the decision to select him was actually a statement for how we plan to move, who we are, and we want him to be nothing more than him. Because when he is, he elevates the space around him. From the football field to the city to the game of football itself, Travis Hunter is who we've been hunting up. Couldn't be more jacked to be sitting right here beside him and introduce you all to the man of the hour.
Hey man, I'm sorry. I know somebody went down that booger sugar, bro. I know somebody went down that booger
Wow.
sugar. Did you see how dilated his eyes were?
His eyes kind of scare me.
All right, his eyes were, yeah, he was on that booger sugar, baby. He was on that, yeah.
Yogi.
That was Jacksonville. Yeah, he was on that, yeah. Woo, man. See, that's what's wrong with the Khan family. They have too much money and they let too many little kids run the thing. That's why AEW's in shambles. Tony Khan is throwing
I thought
it.
Tony Baselli was going to run the show.
I don't know. It looked like somebody said Todd the intern. It looked like the guy at the mailroom that's running. I don't know who that GM is, but he looked like he was on that too. Boy,
He moves the space around. I'm like, I don't need another. I would like what? Okay, so you want to talk about where Aaron Rodgers should go quarterback? Just send Trevor Lawrence to the Steelers and let old ayahuasca Rodgers go there and be QB, because those two are two peas in a pod. He elevates the space around him. Oh, you seem like you've elevated the space up around you as well.
Elevated his nostrils. I don't know. His eyes were just woo. Look like a slot machine.
Dude. I don't need all that. Right? I don't need all that from a person that can't do nothing to affect what's going to happen on that football field. Right?
Makes Mike McDaniel seem concise with his thoughts.
Yep, pretty much.
Honestly, yes.
Also in the mixed bag, we awaited when was Xavier Restrepo going to get drafted. He did not. He went undrafted. However, he is now back with his former college quarterback as he signed with the Tennessee Titans as an undrafted free agent. This is what X put out on social media after getting the call of the emotional moment of joining Cam Ward in Tennessee.
Yeah, man, and I'm going to lock you in, and look forward to seeing you when you get here.
Yes, sir. God never fails, coach.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Okay. Tennessee.
Hey, don't move him too fast.
There you go.
Now,
Apparently, according to their, I think it was their wide receiver coach who called him, that Cam was like calling the Titans since like round 4 for them to get Xavier Restrepo.
oh, okay.
Wants him, dude.
Yeah, that's fine.
What? You think there's no shot he's going to be good, Leroy? You're
No,
like you're
not saying that. Not saying that.
That's your tone, though. Your tone is that.
Say it with your chest, Leroy.
Say it.
I'm saying.
Just say it.
Like Leroy's trying to
say it.
Just say it.
But let me
Leroy.
tell you something. You say it.
Stop
Don't
hesitating.
lose. Don't lose.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say what I feel. I don't give a damn what nobody thinks.
Bro, Leroy isn't a hater.
Right. I'm not a hater. But here's the deal. Look at the people that play Restrepo's position. And I'm going to say that football is very cyclical. Right? Look at the guys that play that position. Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. You can go to other teams. They take and put that dude in the slot that is absolutely a lightning in a bottle, right? So when he ran a slow 40, now we're trying to figure out, okay, what can he do at that position that's going to help us? So I don't know if it was a bad hammy. I don't know, what it was. Okay. But that's why he dropped. Like, people don't, like, that 40 is important at certain positions, right? Like, you very rarely going to see a slow corner get drafted, even though he ends up being a pretty good player, simply because what they have to go on and what he's going to have to compete against, the measurables don't say that he can do it.
But you think Cam Ward wouldn't know? He's been around plenty of good football players. You don't think Cam Ward would be calling up the coach since round 4 to draft the guy if he didn't believe in him? Like, Cam Ward knows what a good football player looks like.
At that point, after the 4th round, right, you're basically just doing what you can. And keep in mind, hold on, they didn't do it till after the draft was over.
I understand that.
So the fact that he was calling since the 4th round meant absolutely nothing because they didn't draft him.
Okay, but I'm saying that the quarterback, he believes, he knows if look, if your guy stinks at the job, you're not gonna tell your bosses to hire somebody you don't think is qualified.
No, I understand that. I'm not, and I believe Cam Ward. I believe Cam Ward was sincere when he said, "Yeah, I need that dude on my team." However, right, they can invite anybody after the draft is over because they didn't invest nothing in him.
Timbo says, "Hey guys, let me ruin this feel-good story with analysis." That's kind of what you're doing. You are ruining Goosey. You're raining on Goosey.
He didn't get drafted. He could have went anywhere.
But now he's with his guy.
Okay. All right.
And this guy wanted him.
Okay. All right. Good. Great.
If he gets 2 touchdowns week 1, I mean, you better apologize.
Yeah. Again, all I'm taking is the information I have right now to try to make this determination. It doesn't mean that he's going to not be a player or not. I'm just telling you why everybody decided not to pass on him.
Obvious why everybody did on a 40 time, but it is a fascinating.
At wide receiver.
I get it, but this guy was a good wide receiver. It's not like he averaged 4 yards a catch in college.
Yeah. All right.
Also in the mixed bag.
You could be great in college and absolutely.
Of course. We've seen it plenty of times. No one's saying that that's not the case, that you can't jump to the next level and it's obviously not going to work out for you. But the guy's quarterback obviously thinks highly of him. He said the 40 time means nothing.
Yes, and they signed him after the draft.
I get it, but he's
so
saying
like they didn't really when they said, "Oh, Cam was asking about him since the 4th round," they didn't make any real investment in him.
I get it. Nobody did.
Okay,
but he's still like Cam Ward. I don't think is going to just throw that out there and bull bleep anybody.
No, I got you. So here's my question: you got 32 picks, picking seven times, right? That's what 214. Right? Or 224. I would say this. All of them felt the same about Restrepo?
Yeah, I guess so. But
Okay.
so what? Like the Dolphins, I mean, Kader Kohu wasn't drafted. Very productive player for the Dolphins. Storm Duck, same thing.
Yes,
Like
but guess what?
What
What is the one trait that he did have? It's fast.
I don't know what his speed is. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what his 40 time is. Do you?
No. I'm just making that assumption. Because if he can play, if he's playing on the football field at that level, there's a level of speed that's required to keep up.
I know the guy we know that is fast is Ethan Bonner. Like Ethan Bonner's known as like the blazer on the team.
Right.
Intangibles.
Right. Intangibles. But guess what? Guess what took precedence? They say, I don't care what color he is. That boy could run. Let's get him on our team.
Yeah, but also he's faster out of those two guys. And which guys play more? They do.
Yeah. But I'm still saying, how fast is Kader Kohu? I bet you he runs what, 4.44?
I don't know.
He's not a slow dude.
I know he went to a very small school.
Yeah.
And according to Marcos, won the lottery.
That might be the funniest. Hey, that would go down in history as the biggest.
Kader ran a 4.55.
So that's probably why he went late too.
And then also played at Texas A&M Commerce.
Wait, what a lottery?
I didn't know they had divisions of Texas A&M.
Wes Welker had a 4.65. But yeah, that's why these guys, it's not, listen, Wes Welker ended up being a great player. It's not that they can't, it's just that their entry level is going to be different until all those things are noticed. You see what I'm saying? All you have in the draft is those things that you have film, you have the speed, and you try to figure out whether that success can carry over to the next level. And if you have a receiver that runs a 4.6 and had success in college, the first thing that comes to mind with that 4.6 is he ain't going to be able to do that in the NFL. Then he gets to the NFL and he proves you wrong. I'm not saying that they can't play. I'm telling you why they ended up where they did. That's it.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Mike McDaniel dancing around topics. We also got to get into this prank call on Shedeur Sanders, which was done by an NFL coach's kid. Unbelievable. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Get to headlines brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Heat back on the hardwood tonight. 7:30 is your tip from the Kaseya Center. It's been 7 postseason games since they've won one. We'll try and avoid Cancun tonight, down 3-0 in the series. Down 0-3 in the series to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Panthers are back on the ice tonight. They're in a much better position. Game 4 against the Lightning. They're up 2-1. Puck drops at 7 o'clock there from Amerant Bank Arena. Are the boys live there today, Vlad? Do you know?
Yes, I do believe, because Steph just called me earlier.
All right,
for the access. So I think they are doing their show from Amerant Bank Arena.
There you go. They will be out there. The Marlins, they dropped 2 out of 3 to the Seattle Mariners over the weekend. They will start up a series with the Dodgers. So get to take on a little Shohei Ohtani. That gets going tonight, late 10 p.m. If you guys are looking for the fish. You guys are up late, can't sleep. Late night with the fish gets going tonight, 10 as they open up that series. Dodgers, I think, are in town next week. So if you guys are interested in seeing Ohtani in person, in the flesh, you got that going for you. And then the Athletics are here this weekend. I don't know what they refer to themselves. Are they just the Athletics? They're not Oakland anymore.
I think they're just the Athletics.
They're just the Athletics.
Yes.
Interesting. We're playing in Sacramento, undistinguished, not in Vegas yet, Athletics.
So next year there'll be Vegas Athletics?
I don't know. Is it next year or the year? I don't know how long it takes to build a baseball stadium. I'm not sure when they officially move, Leroy, but I know Oakland told them to kick rocks. So that's why they're playing in Sacramento this year.
Oh, because they wanted to play one more year in Oakland.
Yeah, and they said hit the bricks. So they found a new place. This is, one of the craziest stories I've ever seen of stupidity. So Shedeur Sanders was obviously the big story over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Falls into the draft in the 5th round. They kept cutting to his party. It was streaming. And eventually at one point, Leroy, somebody calls Shedeur Sanders and is like pretending to be somebody. And they're like, looks like you're going to have to wait a little longer. So they prank called Shedeur Sanders thinking that he got drafted.
They found out who it was.
They found out who it was because this was a specific phone that Shedeur had just gotten the day before the draft, that the only people who had numbers for it were the NFL personnel people. So they were able to deduce, hey, this isn't like some rando just has Shedeur's number that's been out there forever. He just got the phone. Well, here's the thing with kids these days. They like to film everything, and they're idiots. So
he filmed him making a phone call?
Yup.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
And, of course, the internet is going to now be able to track down.
Internet's going to internet.
The internet's going to sleuth. And this kid is sitting there on the couch with his buddies, prank calling Shedeur Sanders because they got to get the credit for it. And they look through and they're like, I know that kid. Let's look at that. That's that school. Boop, boop, boop. It was some small school. And it ends up being the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, who, of course, was the interim coach for the Jets last year after they fired their coach. He's now the DC in Atlanta, and it was his punk son, Jax Ulbrich.
Not even an offensive guy?
Nope.
How old is this kid?
21.
He ain't a kid.
Not-
He's a kid, but he's not a kid.
He's a dumbass is what he is. The Atlanta Falcons had to issue a statement. Earlier this week, Jax Ulbrich immediately just is like, the 21-year-old son of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Shedeur Sanders off an open iPad while visiting his parents' house and wrote down the number to later conduct a prank call. Jeff Ulbrich was unaware of the data exposure or any facets of the prank and was made aware only after the fact. The Atlanta Falcons do not condone this behavior and send our sincere apologies to Shedeur Sanders and his family, who have been in contact to apologize to, as well as facilitate an apology directly from Jax to Shedeur.
Now, question. What was one of the things said about Shedeur? He had a bad interview, right?
Yep.
How old is Shedeur?
22.
Right. The kid that pranked him is 21.
Yep.
Look how hard they are on Shedeur. And look at how we are just chuckling over the dumbass.
Jax Ulbrich took to social media with his statement.
Like, we want to hear more from him?
On Friday night, I made a tremendous mistake. Shedeur, what I did was completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish. I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of your life, and I made a terrible mistake and messed with that moment. Thank you for accepting my call earlier, and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Again,
nah,
damage is done.
No, damage is mad done. You know,
damage is done.
You know what?
And that
think
ain't
of
no
all,
kid.
think of all the things they said about Shedeur's.
Leroy, we're not even. No. Leroy. Who are the two most popular players in the franchise history of the Atlanta Falcons?
Michael Vick
and Jamal Anderson?
No, Deion Sanders.
Ah, yeah.
You still see 21 jerseys
all the time
in Atlanta.
21
so
and
for
7.
Jeff Ulbrich's son to it's like you're taking a shot at the Sanders family. They're not going to like that. They're not going to like that in Atlanta. He better have a top 5 defense because he's like Deion's diet, like Deion's like royalty over there in Atlanta.
Yep.
So messing with his family,
Yeah, but what's he gonna do?
But that's the problem. That's the issue. That's the issue that I have is that we have people. I mean, think about what you would say if a football player did that. Kick him out of the league, do this, do whatever. We got a kid who's damn near the same age doing something just as dumb. And now we want, he accepted my apology. And okay.
Do they fire Ulbrich?
I don't know.
Because you got to find out that the defense coordinator actually gave him the number, right?
No, he said
No, I know what they said. I'm saying, let's say Ulbrich wanted a good chuckle, and he just gave him the number. Oh, I happened to leave my iPad open.
If an athlete had done this, Vlad, we would be saying the streets need a body.
Let me just
do the streets not need a body now?
This is the year of our Lord 2025. You don't have a pin on your iPad for work? My son doesn't know that. Oh, Ulbrich just silly me. He got the number. What is he, a toddler running buying something for
I'm more than sure that the dad, who was probably working on the iPad at some point and had a grown-ass kid, didn't know he had to deal with this.
Unless he's a meathead.
Okay, but why? Tobin, my question is, you got kids that you're drafting that are the same age. They don't get that benefit.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, that's the only way you get real consequences out of this is if Jeff Ulbrich really innocently didn't know anything about that. Okay. Which I'm having a hard time believing.
Hey,
if everybody
see, here's what's funny. To firing someone over a phone call, stop being soft. Again.
No, that's a bad look on the Atlanta
Falcons. We suspended somebody for doing finger guns. Stop. Like, I don't understand what you guys think. You don't think that you're being a little over the top with athletes, and that if an athlete had done something like this, you wouldn't want that guy kicked out of the league?
Well,
stop it.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, there's no consequences for Jax Ulbrich because nobody cares about Jax Ulbrich. Unless we find out the dad actually gave him the number.
But you're not going to find out.
I don't know.
No, because that's something you could keep hush-hush. Plus, keep in mind, with the explanation, they already cleared that out.
Well, I mean, you would think keeping the hush-hush would also be not recording.
Oh, no. He went full Ja.
Yeah, he went full
He had a picture of it.
I bet they're going to tell you, because that's probably what Jeff Ulbrich said. Oh, he got off my phone. Hey, there better not be a text that says, "Hey, Jax, here's Shedeur's number."
They
Better
ain't
not be
gonna
that
do
text.
that much investigating.
Maybe not. Depends what Dion wants, right? What if if Dion is royalty to the Falcons like that, and he calls up Arthur Blank and he goes, "All right, well, can you look at his phone real quick?"
I would think this, in all honesty. What would piss Dion off is the way they attacked his kid about all of that stuff. That he had a bad interview and a bad this and a bad that, and how everybody just went after his kid, right? And then have somebody the same damn age and they just call him a knucklehead young person, right? And everybody to move on. I think that would bother him more than anything. It's not even that it was a prank call. It's not even words, but the fact that his son, who is the same age as this kid, just got treated. I can't think of the last time everybody went after a player in the draft like they went after him, right? Good or bad, whether you're going to draft him or not, you didn't have to go after him to try to justify it. Just don't draft him. But everybody wanted to justify it, so they basically went after him. And I would say that for somebody in a coach to have a kid the same damn age and to say, "Oh, I called and apologized. Oopsie." That's the part.
But it's still, you can't say there's no accountability for it. Like the team issued a statement. Like it's obviously obviously
a statement. When does a statement work with an athlete? When has a statement worked with an athlete? Stop it. Stop it. No.
What are you talking about? I don't even understand. Like, what is your argument here? If the team puts out an official on letterhead that we put out an apology because our defensive coordinator's son hacked an iPad.
By the way, this is
you know
not
how
fun.
Embarrassing that is.
This is not fun, guys. I see a lot of people in the chat line and chat saying it's fun. No, because this guy's waiting for the opportunity. This is a big dream. Like you wouldn't want that to happen if you were waiting for your big job. No, like if they had a big job interview and they're waiting for that call to say they got hired, you're not wanting somebody to prank you. Like don't think, oh guys, you what's the lecture about? Nah, fam. Like you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that for your child.
That's why I'm saying when you guys are just taking the explanation at its word, like that's very generous of you to think that Ulbrich didn't give his son the number for goofs. But if there was as much backlash as has been reported around the league at Shedeur Sanders, who's to say some coach isn't a jerk? We saw a coach do yayo off of his desk. These are not well-behaved people all the time. You think it's that crazy to think that Ulbrich, meathead defensive coordinator, is like, son, here's a funny joke. Here's Shedeur Sanders' number. They're sitting in the same room all day, bored. Let's see if it comes through. Now, the part of it is your son can't be a dumbass and videotape himself, which of course
that's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
But I'm telling you, if they find out that Ulbrich, that he didn't steal the number from Ulbrich and that he actually gave the number to his son, yeah, then there will be consequences for it.
I doubt it.
Cats think it's man. It's not funny, bro. It's not funny.
I mean, I don't like. Again, it had humor to it, right? But you have to understand as a society how we attack these athletes that are the same damn age as this kid in the prank he pulled. And you can say, oh, he's not, somebody said, oh, he's not going under center and getting millions to play quarterback. It doesn't change the age that you are and your mentality. Hell, you would think Josh should know right now, no gun references after being suspended for taking a picture with a gun.
Yeah,
but guess what?
He came through with a better celebration anyway.
Right.
Man, that's gonna slap at the Kaseya Center next year.
Right.
I can't wait to throw grenades.
Like his chest on the court when he fell.
It's okay.
So I just, I'm just that amazed that if an athlete were to do something along that line, right, then we would be calling for some heads to roll. And now that this is the kid of the coach who's the same age, we want to just chalk it off to being funny. Right?
I don't think it is because he's not apologizing. Like, obviously people were pissed off about it. There's not statements from the team if people weren't pissed off about it.
I got you.
But to this point, what do you do for some punk kid who has no consequences in his life? I don't know what the punishment is, I guess. Hey, Jax Ulbrich, I guess you're never getting a job in the NFL if that's what he has things to aspire for. I don't know what some dope has, you know, as his next profession. But I'm gonna find out, Jeff, if you sent him that phone number. Because if you did, take a break. 15 minutes of heat if we must. Next. 15 minutes of heat here for you. 560 WQAM. Brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. The Miami Heat, game 4 tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tyler Herro has guaranteed we're not going out 4-0. Well, we'll see. Tonight, 7:30 is when we get going. 6 o'clock, preheat gets going from the Kaseya Center. Of course,
I want him to think that.
Scooby?
Right?
Oh, you want Tyler to think? Yeah. I'd love him to think that. Give me some points. Let's go.
I mean, they have put the clamps on him to some extent.
They certainly have. They have made it one mission to make Tyler Herro.
That's what the playoffs are, though.
We're
gonna take your best player and we're gonna try to make everybody else beat you. And right now, we need somebody else to pop off for a 30, 35-point night.
I think that they are both getting exactly what they want from both Tyler and Bam, which is dare Bam to go attack the rim. He is not. And have Tyler Herro get the ball out of his hands and throw a bunch of bodies at him to not shoot. And they've had a lot of success with it outside of game 2. Davion Mitchell afterwards. This is him on all the adversity that the Heat have faced so far this season. Here's what Off Night had to say. He's had a good series.
I mean, like you said before, we went through a lot this year. 10-game losing streak, but we never let go of the rope. I think that it made us better in the long run. I mean, people said we were supposed to be home 2 weeks ago. We ended up winning 2 road games. So anything can happen. We got to take one game at a time. We made history before, so let's keep trying to make history.
I let go of the rope somewhere down 25 in that game.
It was burning your hands.
I was like, I'm out
Too
of here.
heavy.
I'll
Too
see you
heavy.
Monday. I mean, you kidding me? Don't let go of
You weren't holding on to nothing because the Panthers
points.
Man. It's not, listen. And on TV, the one thing that I would say is they try to say that the Heat, kind of gave up or whatever. They're playing well. They're shooting the ball well, right? They're not playing that the defense that you expect them to play because Cleveland's really good.
They also didn't. I mean, I don't think they played well. Quite obviously, you lose by 37. You didn't play well. Spo said they laid an egg. I mean, they turned the ball over a lot, and
that's the one thing that was like just killing me, right? Like you can say that they're very efficient defensively in Cleveland, but that ain't have nothing to do with some of the turnovers you had.
Yeah, it was
nothing to do with it.
That was a rough look. Khalil Ware, he's had his own turmoil this welcome.
Oh, he's learning.
This is what Spo had to say on his rookie big going out there against the likes of Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, mostly Jared Allen, just giving them the business.
It's not only this game. It's it's the 2 games before this. It's the 2 play-ins. We're also dependent on his minutes. How many minutes those may be. And I understand he's being fed through a fire hose. And, he just arrived here in July, but you still inherit all of our experiences from and expectations of previous playoff, of last year. He cares. We're coaching him hard, and, I feel for him because there's an expectation that he has to be there like a vet. These are important learning experiences. He's getting better from it because if anything, he's not like at the highest level, whether it's an effort, awareness, a communication standpoint. In the playoffs, you pay the price, on that. So he cares, and he'll go right back to work tomorrow. And that's the thing that I respect about Khalil.
Have I not been saying what Spo has said for 6 months? Have I not been saying those things? And now we're saying it the third game into the first round of the playoffs?
It's paying the price, dude. I mean, Jared Allen is making.
I'm just saying, like, now you're trying to be understanding and patient with Khalil.
Well,
you sent him to the Yotes.
They sent
him to the Yotes.
Dude, they sent him to the Yotes for one game.
So what?
He's sending his ass to the bench very quickly.
Oh yeah. Hey.
On him.
Hey.
Jared.
Like, I just say in the presser after the game, he's trying to talk about how understanding he is, but he don't give a damn about understanding during the heat of the battle.
Yeah, he gave him 6 minutes in the first half. He goes, "Sit your ass down." Couldn't wait to sit him down. He's like, "Haywood, get out there."
Yeah, but the problem is they are so tall.
I know.
You are not.
Why does Evan Mobley just look like legs and arms? There's no torso.
Why does it feel like every game you watch, why is he improving? It's like every game Evan Mobley just improves.
He's only like, what, 22?
Oh my God, he's scary.
He's scary.
Yeah.
He is scary, but he has no torso. He's just like
his arms and legs.
It looks like he's just like he looks like Space Jam.
And then you know what's worse? They talk about the bigs banging inside and getting rebounds and blocks and all this stuff, right? And then I hear Evan Mobley just made a 3 and they shoot threes too?
He does, yeah. He does.
Point for JFig.
What are y'all doing?
Nothing. We're just listening to you very intently and closely.
I did nothing. I'm listening to you.
Spit it out, Giggles.
Nothing. Something about bigs, you said, right?
Big.
Big.
Yeah, there was one where just shot a 3 and just kind of stared at it. And then, like, the loose ball goes to the Cavs and like Allen gets a bucket on him the next possession. Supposed to get your ass down on the bench. Like, he was so done with him. Oh man. It was tough. It's been tough for the young bigs in this series. Nico had a good spurt there in game 2, but it was first game in 2 months.
Yeah,
not shoot it well. Has not shot it well with the hand coming back from the broken hand. Hasn't had that rhythm yet. Maybe he'll get it tonight. First of 4. Let's go.
Well, if he don't get it tonight, he got to wait till next year. So
he's got to work on it all summer.
Yeah.
Yo, you can't even get yourself hyped up to even try this, can you?
I don't like. It's not impossible to me that they can win, Vlad, just because it's the NBA. Like, I could see the Cavaliers coming in hungover on Astron, and
really, because they didn't come hungover on Astron the other day.
No, I have a theory.
But it was early game, so they maybe couldn't.
Early game, but if you're smart, if we sweep right now,
they're gonna be on vacation here.
They can at least spend an extra night and go to Astron.
Probably 2.
Well, the Indiana-Milwaukee series might end on very shortly tomorrow.
Yeah,
because Dame's hurt. By the way, Tobin and I were talking. You know who's looking like $1 million right now?
Portland.
Yeah, Joe Cronin can go to hell still, though.
Joe Cronin has played this unbelievably.
Damian Lillard's career might be over. What a guy.
And Scoot. That's Scoot.
Nobody's better than Scoot.
Scoot showing improvement. Look, he everybody thought that Joe Cronin was going to get dog walked by Riles.
Don't you feel, though, like, doesn't Damian Lillard have to sit on that court? And he thinks to myself,
could have been in Miami.
What did I do to deserve this? Stuck in Wisconsin. Now I never get to leave Wisconsin. I'm going to be stuck here in Wisconsin with my blood clot calf and now my torn Achilles in the other calf. Ridiculous. What does Damian Lillard do to deserve this? This is bad karma. He doesn't deserve this. He's a sweet man. Love Damian Lillard. What kind of bad run of luck is this?
Well, aren't you happy that this luck didn't happen in Miami?
Wouldn't have happened in Miami. In a different universe.
I hate when you do that.
It would have been a different universe.
Really?
Yeah.
You're making a lot of assumptions with
Always your counter.
players.
That's always your counter.
You
First of
do.
all, I'm not making a lot of assumptions. I'm
You're
making one.
saying that blood clots wouldn't happen here.
Nah. Sea air. Smell that.
Oh, blood
Yeah,
clots
that definitely
happen.
helps. It is a cure.
The cold can't be good for the clots.
Really?
Yeah.
And with your medical degree, you came to this conclusion. How?
I can't be proven
Medical
wrong.
degree.
You are 100% wrong.
Can't prove it.
Yep.
Box 10.
No. Google is smarter than you.
Google the proof against me.
The cold cause blood clot. Ooh.
My point.
Oh, oh yeah, Tobin.
Hold on. Man, you are
What?
so lucky. Are you
That's
ready for
fun.
this?
What did you see? What did you see? What did you see? Tell me.
That was right.
Yes. Cold temperatures can actually increase the risk of blood clots. While blood naturally clots to stop bleeding, cold weather can cause the blood to become thicker and more prone to forming clots, which can be dangerous.
And I know everyone wants to throw Chris Bosh in my face. I believe Chris Bosh got it in the All-Star break. He was not here. Traveling. So the sea air. But alas, Joe Cronin got away with a crime.
I just know how in the hell are you this lucky? Because you didn't know the answer to that. You just made it up. You're a damn lie. You just made it up. You just made it up. And I went and Googled and like.
Another reason to upset you today.
Sometimes it's like the kids say, just take the L and move on, you know?
I can't take it because you didn't know. You didn't know. You did not.
Tobin never knows, but he says it so confidently that
Tobin just says things.
He just says things, and he was right, and it pisses me off.
Yeah,
now that means it opens the door for him to say other ridiculous stuff.
But Leroy, we
You know what
always
they call
say
him
the
now?
broke stock is
Dr.
always
Toes.
right 2 times.
Yes.
So he's right once.
Oh my goodness! I like when I saw it, and I Googled. I saw it. I'm like, damn. Like, I don't want to. Like, I should have just lied, huh?
Probably.
No.
No.
Someone would have just
Yeah,
thrown it out there. So
because then somebody would have
you
called
can't
you
win.
out.
Yes.
No.
We'll take a
Someone
break.
would've lied if it was me.
We'll play a little all right. Oh no, to close things out. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hey, WQM's Whiskey Stars and Cigars presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall is back Friday, May 9th at Tabacon at Plantation Walk. Talk sports unfiltered with the WQM sports staff. Enjoy a whiskey and a cigar from Drew Estate. Stop on by. No registration necessary. Whiskey Stars and Cigars at Tabacon at Plantation Walk. It's free. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall, your 2024 Dealer of the Year. 22 acres of new and pre-owned Chevys, Cadillacs, and Buicks. Visit them online at edmoresawgrass.com. You must be 21 or over to attend.
I got to get there early because I got to get into that good food.
Yeah, man.
Missed out last time.
You
with the tacos.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I ate it, but it wasn't. I need to get something in my belly so I could get that liquor.
Let's get to all right and oh no to close things out here on a Monday. My all right. Told you, Peter Bendix.
Oh, you're going to change your heart.
He may have pulled something off with this Jazz Chisholm trade. Agustin Ramirez, he's good.
He's been here for a week, so relax.
But it was the greatest week ever.
I know, dude. Baseball is 162 games. He's played 5. And you are...
First impressions are very important to me, and this guy has been doing nothing but hitting tater tots since he's come up to the fish.
Okay, who's more impressive, him or Eminem?
Max Meyer?
No, Marvin.
Oh, Mervis.
Mervis.
I would say Ramirez.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Mervis like damn near leading the league in home runs?
I think you got to calm down a little bit, dude.
Like, I gotta calm down.
Calm down a little
I've been playing baseball for a week, and you're already all right in him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he deserves it.
Okay.
3 home runs over the series. That's a big weekend.
Yeah, and I think Mervis has what, 8, 9?
Mervis has 7.
Does he?
Tied for, yeah.
Okay.
Tied for a cool 13th in the league.
Okay.
Anyway, my oh no.
Oh no.
Look, I didn't want to do this because plenty of people deserve blame for the Heat struggles. However,
are you giving it to yourself?
No.
Yeah, that's where this going.
Yeah.
However, her hips may not lie, but she appears to be a mush because once again, Shakira courtside for a Heat game. They get their asses kicked.
Oh, no.
This is what I missed out on. And you didn't tell me?
Well, I didn't want to ruin your weekend, but
You're right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
She was sitting courtside, and I don't know what to tell you, JFig. Once again, the Heat.
So I was right. I was right.
You may have been onto something with Shakira. Now, of course, she's not with Jimmy Buckets anymore. At least I don't think so.
She's still courtside.
But she was courtside. Worst playoff loss in history. That's rough. Anyway, what's your all right no, Leroy?
All right. My oh no goes to you. Answer for your crimes. Stop trying to pass the buck on the season.
You guys have literally
Kiera, to anybody else. This all started with you. You were the catalyst. Everybody was going to play nice. And then you had Pat Riley say Jimmy Butler needs to shut it.
Yeah, you never even wanted Jimmy Butler here.
What do you mean?
You didn't even want him here. You're like, don't pay him.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gave him an extension.
So then what are you giving me grief for?
Because you would have gave him an extension?
You're right. I would have.
Okay. All right. You're again.
According to you, I got you what you wanted.
My all right, because I know I'm gonna hurry up and be done with it because people are gonna want to fight me over this. This is the first time that I've come out of a Dolphins draft, and it seems like they had a plan. They stuck with it. They filled a bunch of needs with quality players. Not saying it's going to work out, but in drafts past, they were either trading the picks or all over the place, right? Talking about best available. You ended up with guys you're drafting the first round who's not even on the team. And I'm not talking about for reasons of contract, but just because they weren't any good in the first 2 rounds. I really do believe that when this is all said and done, you're going to have a catalyst or a beginning of a group of guys that are going to be able to play together for a long time, just based on the positions that they play. So I'm going to give it to Chris Greer. He needs a win.
All right.
He needs a win. He got one. I think this draft, they all got one. Him, Mike McDaniel, the whole organization. So I'm interested to see how it is going to pan out. There's no guarantees. But as of right now, you can't tell me, based on the draft, that you don't feel positive about who they brought into the organization.
I mean, I hope. I mean, listen, Jonah is already not Liam Eichenberg, so he's okay in my book.
See, that's listen, when they drafted him, I'm like, Tobin's happy.
Yeah.
That's it. But they got an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman can flat out move. That's all you need to know. So they stayed within the principles of what they want as far as guys to be mobile and be able to move, as big guys to be able to pull, play multiple positions, and they got a guard. So I was real happy. I was real positive coming out of the draft and what they did.
Jennifer, what's your all right? No.
Well, my all right obviously goes to this weekend celebrating my friends
All
and their
right.
engagement. And
Are your eyes still red
My eyes.
from the weekend?
You do look high as a kite.
What? Don't.
He's high as a kite.
Stop
dude.
trying to accuse me of
Wearing
things.
Vlad's lunchbox?
No.
Are you hanging out with the Jags GM?
No. Don't you dare accuse me of things. No.
Usually your eyes are revealing.
Hey, Vlad
How are
told
my eyes red? They're not red.
Hey, Vlad told you that Scooby-Doo lunchbox did not contain lunch.
Wow. You guys think so much of me. Okay?
Got a mystery machine in there.
Here's a kite, Raggy.
What's your oh no, Jennifer?
You guys.
Who's next?
How do you just turn my all right into this? That's crazy.
Because that's what we do.
Vlad, what's your all right? No.
I can't even get to my own no. Just
I thought you said it was us.
because you turned it into you guys.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Well, all right.
Hmm?
Captain Clutch, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Enjoy the second round.
Listen, I'd rather be in the second round
Of course you would be.
than not be in the second round. But nonetheless, he came up big with two clutch performances in the fourth quarter. And also,
How's his
I had to
ankle?
give Bodega Cat credit as
His
well.
ankle, he could barely walk, and then all of a sudden he came out.
Yeah, he does something that's weird, and I'm questioning this. Every time he goes back to the locker room, he comes back like he had Popeye spinach, and then all of a sudden,
wrestling. He came back like
he hulks
wrestling.
up. He changes his sneakers. All of a sudden, he can't miss.
That's like that Tyreek Hill IV.
But
All
I'm
of a
not
sudden.
complaining about it. Oh no! To the Detroit Pistons fans, stop your crying. All right, stop
Lot of
your blood
whining.
clot crying. Okay, enough. It's
He
your
did
first
get
time in the
he did
playoffs.
get fouled at the end, though, Vlad. He did.
I know he got fouled on the end. So what? They've been fouling my guys all series. They've been benefiting of all the calls.
By the way, did you guys see the end of that Clippers Nuggets game with the dunk?
That
I
is
still
the
watch it.
crazy, right?
craziest ending ever.
How
I
crazy
still
was
think he
that?
deserves
Look,
it. I think he deserves it.
hey,
Because
but-
if you're in the basket, I think you deserve it.
right. If the ball's all the way through, whether your hands are on it or not,
That
it
would
shouldn't
mean
matter.
that the ball was released before the clock, went red.
It was crazy though.
It was crazy.
Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that.
That was a
No.
wild.
By the way, you know what the best part of that whole game was?
Mm.
Was the end. The only person that didn't seem thrilled that his team won was Jokic.
course.
Jokic.
Yeah,
good
because he
game.
was trying to make that shot.
But you would go crazy. Oh my God, I missed the shot, but my teammate dunked it in. We win. We got out of. We getting out of LA. Tied 2-2. We get home court.
He
No.
was just happy there was no overtime. So
I
he could
think
go
that
see
was what he
Horse.
was happy about. Like, no good, no overtime. I could
Because-
go play with horses.
What's the number one racetrack out in LA? Is it Santa Anita?
No, it's Hollywood.
Yeah, just he's like racetrack. Perfect.
Like right across the street from it too.
Yeah, like, oh, this is great. Oh, Horace, I love you so much. I hate Aaron Gordon, but I love Horace.
I don't know if he hates Aaron Gordon.
Okay, too strong. But I love you. Maybe I'll be Clipper. Close to you.
You should tell him that there's a lot of horse land in Miami. He's gonna be if he gets eliminated. Let me tell you this: if Denver gets eliminated, you have Giannis, KD, and Jokic that could be available during the summer.
And I'm telling you, what do you want for that? You want to
Whatever.
bring in an
To
adorable
get Jokic,
European into the
dude,
front office.
You're gonna mortgage your future. You want to talk about mortgaging the future for a player, and I wouldn't even be mad.
Jokic, what if Jokic is like, you sent to Miami? No, we're not doing that. But others want to go. Whatever you say, Joker. Yes, we like to time. Send now 2 picks.
It'd be more than that.
It'd be all the picks.
All the picks. You like
you have to rob OKC.
Look, you're gonna be doing the big three. Hey, all you're gonna be talking about for the next 5 years is mid-level
You're
exception.
gonna actually have a horse playing point guard.
You do a moose.
Jokic passes it to Horse. Horse can't dribble. He has hooves. You know, the refs keep calling for fouls there, Crotty. How do you get a jersey on a horse? You think that'd be hard?
I mean, we're not getting the crap kicked out of you. I've seen
Wait,
horses.
kicked?
Dude, I've seen horses. They got the quickest jab in the business.
Spo's still gonna bring out Horse if he can't defend the paint. Like, get out of here.
He's
Send
gonna
him
be
to
like,
false.
no.
Get out of here, Horse.
You got 4 legs. You can't hold 2 of them up on defense.
That's horse culture. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow.